that's my mistake. I forgot to hit that little green button on my my thing here. So I just did that. So yeah, YouTube should be coming up in a second here. So good morning, guys, over on YouTube. All right, Peter, let's get to it. We got some numbers that are out today. Market is reacting. Let's see what is the latest and greatest with PPI data today.
Yeah, so we had two things coming out today. Jobless claims, both initial and continuing, as well as the PPI data. Let's start with the PPI since that seems to be of most interest. Expectations about 3% growth on the producer price index, both core and non-core. Came out at 0.3 on the core and 0.4 on the non-core, basically the broader index. Year over year growth expected to be in the 3.2 to 3.3 range, and it actually came out in the 3.5 to 3.6 range. So what does this mean? Basically means that costs have gone up a little more than anticipated. So we're seeing a slightly higher cost index, which is, which sort of matches what we saw on the CPI we saw yesterday. The market not reacting as much on this as it did yesterday. So I guess that's good. Not sure how to interpret this, to be honest. We also had the jobless claims data that came out. It was roughly on target, right? Initial jobless claims expected around 217,000. We had 213,000, so slightly fewer, and continuing 1.88 million. It came in at 1.85 million. It's like both of those are close enough that they're essentially in range. So I think really the number is on this producer price index. And except for eggs, of course. Well, that would be in the CPI number that from yesterday that you're looking at. I mean, I don't think the cost of chickens has increased yet because the cost of feed hasn't yet gone up, but that's coming, I'm sure. So in any event, yeah, it looks like it's a little more of a sedate day in terms of the market economic data impact, which means we can focus on some of the stocks in play. And we had some interesting ones last night that really moved, and then a couple this morning not moving as much. But I'm sure we'll get to some of them in the gappers. If not, I will update you on the stuff that doesn't make the list.
Absolutely, friends. With that, let's take a look at our gap up and gap down list this morning. We got a even sized list here. Some of these are from earnings last night. We had Hood, we had Reddit, which was insane, a lot of fun there. And what's the other one? What's another one too? We had a bunch of these. Three mainly we were focusing on last night. So look forward to those. There'll be something we'll be reviewing in just
Reddit,
a second here.
Cisco.
Yeah, Cisco is the other one. Yeah, which actually had a pretty good move. Excellent. All right, let's get to it, friends. First one on deck this morning is going to be APP, which is AppLovin. And these guys are up 28%. Man, I wish these guys traded well. I would have been so happy with this stock today. But they are really bad intraday trading ticker, Peter. We've seen it not do well. Obviously, earnings here. What is the latest and greatest?
Yeah, look, I mean, they had a very, very good quarter. They beat on top and bottom line, revenue and earnings, largely driven by a very strong advertising business, which grew significantly and, over-delivered on results. And in addition, their forth-looking guidance is high, or at least higher than the market anticipated. So that's all good news for AppLovin. Looks like at this point, maybe people are retreating into their phones. AppLovin making a number of different games and online services. So yeah, they're doing well. Anyways, had a good quarter.
All right, they won't be on my list simply because, again, they just don't trade well for intraday trade. The few times I watched this stock, it has not delivered for me, so I'm not going to watch it today. Let's take a look at AIFF this morning, and this is Fiery Neuroscience firing up here, a nice 27% up this morning, so that's looking pretty good. Hard to borrow, so let me see, this is a low flow ticker. It is 3.6 million. Usually lower flow stocks have this hard to borrow for short, so you're seeing that there. The last couple of days, this thing has been, rocking here, guys, from $4 to 11, from $10.60 to 14, and now about hanging out at $16. So whatever the news is sticking, it's working, Peter. I know low flows are scary, but this seems to be on a good roll here, at least in the last 2 trading days.
Yeah. These guys are, I don't know, they're scary or exciting or what they do. Firefly Neuroscience. So the big news is that they've got what their FDA approved Brain Network Analytics Technology Platform, or their BNA platform, which can harness EEG and cognitive EEG data. So so that's good news. The better news, which is always better news for any company, is that they were accepted into the NVIDIA Connect program, which means they have a partnership. Loosely, I'll say partnership with NVIDIA, because NVIDIA's, as we know, partners with just about everybody, but it seems to be always news for any company that gets a partnership. So this neuroscience company with their brain network analytics software have been accepted into this program. So yeah, so good news for them. I don't know, never traded it, never seen it before. You can see that news is not completely new. It actually hit 2 days ago, but it seems to be a slow build here for the news networks to be picking it up. So as you can see, it started moving on the 11th and continues to move today. So, maybe, I mean, you can see the volume certainly spiked up, but it did diminish yesterday compared to where it was on the 11th. So I'm thinking we may be a little late to the party on this one. I'm probably, no, not probably. I will not be adding this to my list.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like it can be a lot of fun here. Could be fun for entertainment purposes. I mean, we have a lot of shares traded right now, 10 million on this thing. So we are getting the volume. It is enjoying whatever news we got going on it. I'm going to add it to my entertainment purpose list here. I just want to see where it goes here and what kind of action we're going to get when more volume
You know,
comes in after,
I know.
yeah.
I'm rethinking this because for a stock that 3 days ago was getting on average, under or around 100,000 shares a day, then on the 11th they jumped up to 195 million shares. With 94 million yesterday. So I was looking actually just at the declining volume you can see we have on the chart here, but the reality, like you said, Carlos, with 10 million traded already, heck, I mean, if they hit 50 million today, that's still quite enough for it to be a
Yeah.
very different trading profile than what they would have had just a few days ago. So yeah, maybe it is worth taking a look at. This does feel like a popcorn type stock, though, meaning for
Yeah,
entertainment.
yeah, you got to be careful with it. Low flow at 3.6. I mean, all the signs are looking really good, and even the pre-market action, I mean, it's clean. It's nice and clean here. This is what I like to see on a low flow with volume. So all the signs, I'm not a heavy low flow trader. But if I would, this is what I would want to see, and that's looking real nice. So, yeah, on the list there for now. Might even move it on a second there, so you guys can see it on there in a second here. Next is Dominary Holdings, DOMH, and these guys are up 15%. The daily not as clean as I would like, but 710,000 shares traded. It is on SSR, given the sell-off on this would have been Tuesday here, big sell-off on Tuesday, so that is gonna to go over the percentages, throw it on SSR for us this morning. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I don't think this would be a good one for me to watch. So don't like it. Going to skip on it. Peter, anything to share on this Dom H stock?
Yeah, this is a company that I am suspicious of. I don't even know what they do. They're a biotech, apparently. All I know is that the news this week was first that Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump joined the advisory board. And then the very next day, the company announced that they are selling 1.4 million shares in a secondary offering, a direct offering. So it feels like one where they're just they're taking advantage. I guess fine if people are willing to buy, then you guys go. Not sure that it's going to create tradable opportunities. And looking at it here, it doesn't look like the trading was that good on it yesterday. So yeah, I don't think we should spend much time on it.
Yeah, yep. Let's move on from here. Next on here, all right, here's one that we definitely want to have on deck and check out what's going on. It is our Hood, HOOD. So earnings last night, guys, as we were reporting this thing. Amazing reaction after the close, as you can see here, just completely blew the top off. So Peter, they're holding on to his earnings. They haven't sold off yet here in the pre-market. They're pretty close to their recent highs of after hours. Obviously doing well. Let's go over some of their earnings and maybe some of their future stuff that they have reported on the call, maybe.
Yeah, well, look, they hit a key milestone in the last quarter, hitting 1.0 1 billion in revenue. So very first time they ever got over a billion in revenue, and that's significantly over the estimate of 849 million. So not only was it higher than the estimate, it was over that critical $1 billion mark. So I'm sure they were popping some champagne or snorting some coke, or I don't know, whatever they do over at Robinhood.
Pink
I
powder.
shouldn't
They do
malign them.
pink powder there.
Yeah, I'm sure they're having some sparkling cider. Anyways, but also their earnings were significantly better than anticipated, where they delivered well over the finance estimate. Sorry, with the analyst consensus estimate being 32 cents a share, they delivered over a buck at $1.01. 101 seems to be their magic number for this quarter. So they really did it was a great quarter. A lot of it driven by crypto. Their crypto revenue was 700% higher than it was in the same quarter last year. So we talked about this last night as we were preparing for their earnings, and said, it is going to weigh a lot on the crypto. That was their big push and where the expected growth was. So big number delivered for them. And as you can see, they are, they're up 14%, but a massive spike here at the close, and are holding it. So yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be in play. We'll have to see how the spread holds once the market opens, but this one definitely looks like a potential trader. Normally, Hood is not a great intraday trading stock, so we'll have to be careful to make sure the volume holds and the price action continues in a way that you can make it easily tradable. But the news is all good. This is in a great position, and I think I will be putting this on my list to see what happens. In addition, the analyst initiated coverage. A couple of different analyst groups are now decided they're going to cover it. Raymond James jumped on the bandwagon now. Morgan Stanley, they already were covering it, but reiterated their price targets. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Robinhood this morning.
Yeah, we sure will. Will be on my list. I'm going to add that on here. I mean, it's one of the earnings that, again, normally we don't like this stock. Doesn't trade very well, but today could be their day. I mean, they got some great volume going on here. All right, heading back, guys, to our list, brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. Next on here is another earnings play. And wow, look at, I just noticed this. Look at all the companies we got down here. We seem to be having quantum stocks taking off here. I saw Rigetti Spaghetti. We're going to get sued for that. Rigetti Spaghetti, we're going to get called out. Did very well yesterday, started popping up. I see QBTS on here. So it's a bunch of stuff on deck this morning. We'll take a look at those in a second. But let's go to another earnings play, Peter. CSCO, also earnings last night. And man, they crushed it. This reaction here, they took off and never looked back. No pullback. They just stayed hanging out at 66.50. So doing pretty well this morning also.
Yeah, Cisco, like you mentioned, had earnings after the close yesterday, and again also beat their numbers, top and bottom line. So a great quarter. They also raised their guidance for 2025, which is important. They think that with the demand for onshore AI services, they're well positioned to take advantage of that, as the Trump White House indicates there's going to be tariffs and on sort of foreign imported AI that would benefit them, because a lot of their services are US based still. So like we mentioned in our closed show, remember, this is Cisco. They are a network gear or device company, services, hardware and software and services in the networking space. So telecom gear, and while their manufacturing is not on site to the best of my knowledge, because they deliver so much in the software and services, a lot of that is onshore, and that'll benefit them. So they've got, we were talking about this last night, an AI integrated process that is supposed to revolutionize network traffic and reduce the complexity by leveraging AI tools. again, hey, look, they seem to be finding a market for it, and it makes sense. It's something that could work. Not normally an exciting tool, a stock to trade, right? You can see average volumes are around 15 to 18 million shares a day. We're going to have to see some uptick on that volume to sustain this 6% price increase, this almost $4 pop. But Cisco can move. Like, I have watched it in the past. It can move. You just, again, it's another one where you've got to let the stock movement dictate your decisions to trade it. I'm always very cautious on this. The pre-market action actually doesn't look all that great, but there's definitely a potential. The positive news and the tariff situation, it sort of benefits Cisco in the short term, may make it a good trading candidate for today.
Yeah, it sure will. And I think today we're getting more tariffs as well. Reciprocal tariffs going back to India is one of the big ones that gets affected by it because they tax a lot of the U.S. exports. I mean, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm telling you, man, again, me and you were neutral on this politics stuff. You're not even American. You're from Canada, so you're even more neutral than I am, right? But this president has ruined a lot of new presidents going forward, Peter. Like, in the next president, whoever it is, Republican or Democrat, doesn't really matter. You better have a game plan. Like, what this guy has done, whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. It's like a Taylor Swift album. Whether you like the music or not, she has worked her ass off, right? We know that for a fact. Like, to do that many albums, that many song tracks, you have put in the work. Next president, whatever party it is, you better come ready. Don't come in here and the first meeting is like 3 months away with other countries. That's not going to fly for us. The bar has been set too high as far as the amount of work you got to put in here. So that could be a good thing or bad. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We're still early days, right? We're only 3 weeks in here. We got 4 years to go. So
it's crazy. I mean, journalists
and frankly, yeah. Anyways, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I mean, certainly this pace is probably not sustainable for anyone, but
right.
We'll have to see. And then, of course, there's the expectation on the promises. There's been a lot of stuff that's been promised to happen that hasn't yet occurred. So, then, of course, other things that have happened that nobody anticipated. So
yeah, and that's where any presidency, right? No matter Republican or not. I mean, we've seen people promise the world to you on the campaigns, and then when they get to office, there's only so much they could do. They go back on some stuff. This happens everywhere, right? And there's issues with that everywhere, but man, the pace that we're on is just incredible, right? So again, not sustainable, but it's been 3 weeks. People feel like he's been here for 6 months. So it's definitely moving pretty fast. But with that tariffs, we'll see how it affects India. He's meeting with India today. I don't think we have any stocks that get affected by this. That's what we kind of been looking at, talking about Cisco and their tariffs and this helping them out. Same thing with Intel. We saw that yesterday, right? Look at Intel's chart. It's like coming alive here after the tariff with, buying more U.S. chips. So this is a lifeline for them. Hopefully it ends up working out. But as far as India, I haven't seen any tickers. If you guys know over on YouTube, any tickers that gets affected by it, please let us know. We would love to put that on deck here.
Yeah, there certainly are a number of companies that are directly impacted by that. But you're right. They're not typically ones that hit our radar for actively traded stocks that we take advantage of. So we'll see what happens.
All right, let's go back to this list here, friends. Yes, we'll look at D-Dog, guys. I know you guys are seeing that one. It's on the gap down, so we'll get to it right below Reddit here on tradingterminal.com, so we will get to that one. Shout out, let's welcome Lorinda De Roches. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. She is second time in chat, so welcome over on YouTube there. Glad to have you. All right, let's look at the next one here, guys. We looked at Cisco, we looked at Hood. Tesla is showing some signs of life, so let's take a look what's happening there. I do like this one this morning. We have 2.8 million shares traded. We're up 3.3 on it. Daily's getting a little bit of a bounce, but it's just been on a massive sell-off. Not massive, but a very steady sell-off in the last at least two to 3 weeks. So, Peter, I like this. Will be on my list. What's your thoughts on it as we go into the
That being said, I had a surprisingly good day yesterday, for the most part. Really sold off into the close. Sort of the last half hour of the day was not so good for Tesla. The rest of the day was more or less a steady climb, and then it gave about 2/3 of it back in the last half hour. So yeah, it's certainly in play. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And look, there's all sorts of news out there on Tesla. Both good and bad. There's talk of new rivals, as you would expect. There was an article I was reading yesterday about a company called Apptronic, which Google was funding to the tune of about a third of $1 billion, 350 million, to directly to build robots, which would be sort of a direct competitor to Tesla's robot push. Again, those creepy robots watering your plants. Good. We can have more companies making creepy robots to water your plants, which I don't think they haven't produced any of those yet, have they? I don't think. I hope
No.
nobody's
Besides
got.
that event where they were
Yeah.
serving drinks, I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of these, right? Okay, Kim
Anyway.
Kardashian took a picture with one of them. She did a photo shoot a while back, and she had one in the car and whatever. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And we can't forget that Tesla's fate is tied to its fearless leader Elon Musk, who is some people like what he's doing, some people absolutely do not. So it is interesting to watch from the sidelines on that thing out here in Canada, because as people have joked, co-president Musk is dismantling parts of the U.S. civil service. Look, he's trying to make change. Everybody's sort of debating, I guess, whether it's the right change in the right way, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like, it is a constantly moving feast in the U.S. government right now, and from a market perspective, we have to be aware of it. So I would advise everybody, right, irrespective of what you choose to do and what you choose to trade, stay on top of the news as much as you can. If you're a Bear Bull Trading member, you're part of our chat room. We've got that Benzinga news feed. Keep that open. Keep that open all day. You just never know when the news is going to hit. Inevitably, usually what happens is we actually see it reflected in the prices first. Then you figure out what caused it, right? Because there are always those with faster news feeds and are going to get the information first. They're obviously, when you're dealing with people with hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars invested in their infrastructure and data, the computers will be trading before you can even touch your mouse. So but you've got to be right on top of it. You got to be very vigilant on your trades, because you never know what's going to hit. We have some tariff information that's supposed to be coming out later this afternoon, right? And depending on what that news actually turns out to be and when it happens, that could have a big impact to stocks, no matter what they're doing beforehand. So, be very aware of the news as much as you can, because it's, like I said, a movable feast out there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, let's get to. Well, I want to talk about quantum before we get to the gap down, because we've seen quantum stocks take off yesterday a little bit. Not take off, but kind of bounce back. Here's QBTS, had a really nice day. And someone on YouTube, when I was on with Avi, they called out RGTI, and that also traded very well yesterday. So again, these guys are a hit or miss on the daily lately, right? On the daily, you can see the struggle here, especially after the CEOs NVIDIA. I can never forget this guy's name. Remember this guy's name? The CEO from NVIDIA, is it Wang something? What's his name? Jensen.
NVIDIA?
Jensen. Yeah, what's his last name?
First name. Yeah, Jensen Huang.
Yeah. Okay, so I got one part of that right. Okay, so Jensen, after his comments, right, completely dropped this, and now some people are trying to help out the quantum stuff, saying no, it's not going to take that long. It should be sooner. There's more new stuff that came out yesterday, and then we're seeing some action today. So I might keep an eye on Rigetti, but I do see QBTS is the one on the gappers list. We'll put that one on the secondary list just to see what takes place there. All right, Peter, before we get to the gap down, we got some more earnings there. Anything on the gap up that we haven't covered as the list continues to grow here?
Well, just on QBTS, there is some news that interesting. Jensen Huang, like we are talking about, how said it's 15 to 30 years away from viability. We seem to be seeing news that might be a counterpoint, as I'm trying to say to that. And I'm not even sure how to tell you the news because it's a German company. I'm going to post the headline here for everybody in both YouTube and the chat because I can't even pronounce this German company's name. It's typical German with lots of vowels and consonants in wrong places, but at least for my English mouth. But anyways, they bought a quantum computer for installation in a data center, the very first computing data center in the world to install a private, this D-Wave Advantage system, which leverages this quantum computing. Now, how effective it's going to be, what they're going to use it for, that's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. It's good news for quantum computing in general. It's better news for QBTS, showing that they actually have a customer. Somebody was willing to buy this thing, and yeah, it may just spin the disks and the pretty lights will flash and they can proudly, show it off to people who come touring their data center. Who knows what it actually does? Sometimes it doesn't matter, right? Picture all of the equipment on the bridge of the Enterprise. It's, but hey, look, if it makes the stock move, I'm all for it. So we could see it jumping up this morning with a little more interest in QBTS. So you go, Quantum.
Yeah. You definitely go. All right, let's go to the gap down on the tradingterminal.com's gappers list here. Again, this gap up list keeps growing. It was not this long, and it continues to grow here, I guess, as things are moving higher. But on the gap down, let's start with the earnings here. TTD, which is the trade desk, and man, they are not trading well. I mean, ouch. Look at this drop here yesterday. They closed at 123. We're hanging out today almost $36 lower, 30% down. So, Peter, obviously earnings last night did not treat these guys well. They are hurting today.
Yeah, and interesting. Yeah, they definitely... let's see. They definitely did not have a good response to their quarter. That being said, as far as I'm seeing here, oh, you know why? Okay, so the company is reporting record revenues and said they did fantastic, but it was below analysts' expectations. So you have to always separate the company spin from what the analysts were expecting. Analysts were looking for 760 million, I'll say, roughly in revenue. They delivered 740. They were expecting 57 cents on earnings. They actually exceeded that with 59 cents. So so that was good. I think the big thing that always hurts these companies is their forward-looking guidance, where their revenue guidance was only 575 million for the next quarter, where analysts were expecting 580 or higher, and the earnings, total earnings, were expected to be around 193 million, and they're saying they think they're only going to be making 145. So despite the fact that they are still in record territory for their numbers, it's not what the analysts were expecting, and therefore the stock is getting hit. Now we have to keep in mind the trade desk here, this TTD is an interesting multinational company. So I got to think there's got to be some impact on their business as well with all of this tariff situation happening, even if it's not direct. You were looking for companies that had an impact, Carlos. This feels like one that would be impacted. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm not sure that this is going to be one of our best trading opportunities. I have tried to watch this and trade it in the past. You just go to a daily on TTD and you can sort of see like it's see how it's like, look how small these little candles are. It gets into these choppy ranges. It's very rare you get a decent day of trading. Today could be that day, but it's tough to trade. And I think we've got better candidates today.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. We've seen,
there you go.
Yeah,
that baby.
We've seen this stock be so bad. But again, today's their day, right? They're gapping down. I think they at least deserve, being down 30%, you deserve to join the secondary list at least. But I'm with you, Peter. I mean, it's not a great intraday trading ticker. When we watch it, even when we watch it with news, like you might be thinking, oh, we're just watching on random days. No, watching it even with news coming out doesn't trade well. Today could be very different, but my hopes are not too high, and neither is Peter's, as you heard there. All right, let's take a look at, I was going to say ESPN, but it's not. It's ASPN. What is that? ASPN. So let's take a look here.
Want to watch some sports?
Automatically, oh, ESPN, your mind automatically puts those three last letters together. But this is ASPN, Aspen Aerogels. Okay. Yeah,
We've
down 25%.
Yeah, we've watched these guys in the past, or at least we've talked about them when they had some innovative new products. They're the ones that make some of these insulating gels that are like lighter than air. They're actually, it's super cool technology. That being said, this is because of earnings. They had earnings, and look, they did good on the current quarter, but once again, it's their guidance that was not sort of meeting expectations. Because of that guidance, you can see them, sort of having a little bit of a tough time this morning. Not a volume trading stock, so under 1 million shares so far today. I mean, it is on the increase here this morning, despite the overnight drop. You can see how after the earnings last night, if you sort of just go back there, yeah, there's the big drop, right? So I just don't think the trading volume is going to pick up enough to make this a good trading stock. It is a NYSE stock as well, which just provides extra challenge, I think, for the trading volume.
Yeah, agreed. I'm gonna skip on it as well. Again, it could have some potential. I think there's better things to definitely look at. All right, let's take a look at BTI, and next is the greatly awaited D-Dog. So that's coming up. BTI this morning. What do we have here? The British American. What is the rest of this name here? Tobacco. Okay. Down. Yeah, down 8%, Peter, today. Again, foreign ticker, looks pretty crappy on the daily as far as volume goes. So maybe not a great trader. I think I never put this on my list or never traded it. What's the latest and greatest on it?
Well, British American Tobacco. So, I'm trying to figure out what. I don't think they actually had earnings, because I don't see earnings results for them. They did make a plea or a pitch at the White House that they should be trying to take on illegal vaping devices. Now, vaping is not as big as it used to be. However, there's still a huge market for non-licensed products, and obviously British American Tobacco made a big investment in their vaping technology, and are sort of looking for the Trump White House to support them in terms of taking a stronger stance on eliminating the illegal devices, or their illicit vapes, as I guess they're sometimes called. But anyways, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure why it's such a big drop today, because I don't see any particular news on this other than maybe that pitch really didn't go well, and that just hasn't hit the news yet. But other than that, Carlos, another one that I don't really like.
Yeah, no. We're gonna stick with our regular cigars here. We're not gonna deal with none of this vaping stuff. So let's just stick regular cigars is fine for us. All right, let's take a look here. Let's head over to the next one here. We've been waiting, D-Dog. So D-Dog this morning. D-Dog, here we go. We are down 7.2% right now. Again, this stock, not an easy one to trade. Love their ticker name, but man, it is a tough intraday trading stock, and mainly because the volume is so light. But they move quite a bit. We've seen the stock move $5, $10 very, very easily. But it's not easy to trade, Peter. So what's your thoughts on it? And obviously, we got some movement starting off at 7 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, every time this stock comes up on our list, I can't help think of our good buddy, friend of the show, Norm, who used to sit in my seat for the first couple of years of this show as we were doing it, and because one day he just traded this thing, and I was shocked that he would trade it, because it was just not the normal type of stock that he would jump into. But he made a ton of money off of it, so it really went well for him. But they had earnings just this morning, and their earnings were good. They beat their earnings in the quarter, surpassing on revenue and on bottom line earnings per share. So that was good news. It's their forward-looking guidance, once again, right? That always causes the problems. And if they looked at their full-year guidance, the expectation was about $3.25 billion worth of revenue. They're thinking they're going to do about 3.8 3.15 to 3.19 million. So yeah, they're sort of guiding not significantly lower, but low enough that the analysts are not happy, and DDOG is dropping as a result. So I yeah, again, I'm in this one. I'm just not sure. 1.7 million shares traded so far today. I have seen it trade well, but it's not often that it really sort of gets nice, consistent trading volume. I think this one I would look and see if it spikes up closer to yesterday's close, and then it looks like a drop. It might be one of my rising devil trades that I could take a look at. But the fact that it's above VWAP now is not its ideal position for me. So very, very skeptical on this, but I might put it on a secondary just for Norm. Do it for Norm, man.
Do it for Norm. We'll definitely put on a secondary here for our good buddy Norm. Let's look at DDOG on the secondary there. Yeah, I'm with you, Peter. We'll have to see. Look out for the spread. It's pretty crappy right now. It's almost $1 plus. It will get better at the market open, but just before you take a trade, just look at the spread and make sure that calculation as far as your risk management is being considered. All right, so here, what else we have left? Let's go to Reddit, RDDT. All right, so the big one yesterday. Again, we've been talking about the stocks daily and how well they've been doing. I mean, they IPO'd last year, and since then, it's been nothing but glory days, especially in November. November came up here, and it just took off drastically. So here we are. We're down 5.9, but we recovered quite a bit this morning, Peter, after earnings last night. So not a bad situation for them at the moment.
Yeah, so we talked about this once again as we were preparing for earnings. There's a key number that's different here than in a lot of other businesses, and that's daily average users. How many people are logging in and using their platform? And that was a key measure. So and it was down versus expectations, right? It was actually up 39% year over year, but not quite to the analyst expectations. The expectation is about 1.3 million daily average users. They only managed to hit about 1.17 million to be specific. So while the revenue and earnings exceeded expectations, it was a great quarter profit-wise. The market is saying they're concerned that the average usage wasn't as high as anticipated. So that was what sort of drove that initial drop. But like you said, I've been impressed overnight and so far in the early trading this morning that it's been coming back quite handily. So this one feels interesting to watch. I honestly not sure of the direction of this trade, but I want to watch it and see if it gives me any strong signals that I can trade against. We're seeing about 1.8 million shares traded, which is very good. Again, while being a technology stock, this does trade on the New York Stock Exchange. So often that early market volume is lower, but being as high as it is, it feels like a good trading candidate. So in fact, I may have to replace DDOG with this one, but we'll see what my final list looks like. But I like the look of Reddit.
Yeah, I really do. I'm actually going to put them on my main list today. I think today's the day when me and Reddit get together and do some stuff, man, because I haven't not traded this yet since the IPO'd. Again, it has not been that great of a trader. Great, beautiful daily. I mean, wow, amazing for swing trading here if you were long. But I think today's our day where we kind of get together on this. So we'll see if we can make something happen.
Yeah. We have to keep in mind, this is a stock that is up 350% since their IPO release, which is a little less than a year ago. So this hasn't even been a tradable stock for a year. So yeah, it's definitely been on a tear ever since the IPO was released in March of last year. And it's I don't think that general bullish sentiment is out of the stock yet, despite that not meeting the expectations on the daily average users. Feels like it's still well positioned. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we sure will. All right, we'll stop here. Peter, as far as anything that might not be on the Gappers list this morning, anything else you like today that we have not gone over?
Yeah, you covered most of the earnings. Only two, I think, that we didn't get to that I wanted to mention. First, one gapping down, Deere Enterprises, DE. This is the heavy equipment farm machinery manufacturer. They're moving a lot more into, I hesitate to say, but into a technology company, as they've been pushing a lot of their autonomous devices for farmers. One, to try and drive sales, right? Because you can get them to sort of equip with this autonomous equipment. But two, obviously, to push their technology footprint and be able to demonstrate that you can actually send your farm equipment out. You don't need to man it. Think of how that would benefit now a farmer if they could sort of do that without having to hire people or themselves sort of sit in the cab. Plus, you can offset the costs of all the fancy cabs. I don't know if you've Carlos, I've only seen videos on some of these new tractors, but they're quite impressive. They're very luxurious in the tractor cab itself. So I mean, I get it. If you're sitting in there 14 hours a day, you want it to be comfortable, especially if you're already paying like a couple $100,000 for this thing. Hell, man, give me a comfy seat and a stereo, right?
They're not cheap.
But
There's a spot of I think off 80. Is it off 80? I don't know. Every time I go to PA, I pass by one of their dealers, and they have them out all laid out, whatever. They look really nice, man. Like, it makes me want to, hey, can I spend a couple of days in the farming and play with this machine here? But it's not what it used to be in the 1970s. They look pretty nice, man.
Yeah. Anyways, all that being said, I said they're pushing the technology angle as cool as it is because their sales are lower. In fact, their overall guidance is low for the next quarter. And they're thinking, they directly stated in their earnings call that they think tariffs are going to have a direct impact on their sales, because as tariffs go higher, that impacts, of course, farmers and those at the front end of the supply chain. It could affect the buy volumes, which means they're less likely to invest in new equipment. So we'll see if that plays out. But because of that lowered guidance, Deere is dropping this morning on significantly increased volume. Like, they don't get, normally they're trading like 100 shares pre-market. They're only at 77,000, but I'm looking at my numbers here. That's up significantly from what they normally trade. Again, a tough trading stock, but just interesting because it's a segment we don't normally look at. The only other one that I wanted to mention was just one of my favorite, out of amusement, Crocs. Crox. I still am shocked that this is an independent company that does like $500 million in $800 million worth of revenue every year. Who knew that you can sell that many Crocs every year? But they do. Anyways, they actually had a good quarter. They beat their numbers in the quarter. They're gapping up slightly. Low volume stock here. Not often a great trader, but it just always, every time this comes up on the quarterly earnings, I'm like, man, Crocs, like, it's I don't know, it's a thing. But like, like I keep saying every quarter, they're huge in the medical field. There's specific applications for them that keep their revenues high. And I know that certainly to my daughter's boyfriend, he loves his Crocs. In fact, I got to say, we bought some Croc slippers, sort of as a joke gift for my daughter and her boyfriend at Christmas. So I guess I contributed to their earnings. So yay me.
There you go. So they're active today, guys. If you like them, definitely put them on the list. We'll see, up 21%. That's really good. All right, we'll stop here. Let's see what you guys like this morning. But first, I want to look at Baba, because Baba, you guys been mentioning it here, and also it just came up on my gap down list. This was great for me yesterday, but look, it's looking pretty nice to the downside today. So yeah, we'll add Baba to the list as well. We'll put that on there. We'll see how that plays out. All right, let's take a look over on our members chat and also on YouTube. What do you guys like this morning besides Crocs? I see a lot of you guys like the Crocs, which is pretty nice. PLTR, let's take a look at PLTR this morning. Not doing a whole lot. We got some volume here. Had a great day yesterday. So yesterday it took off. Again, a lot of stocks were very bullish yesterday. It was like a bullish type day. Again, Powell was talking again to the U.S. House, and he did well. I mean, but here we're moving up on some of these. So that's great. As far as today, it's pretty flat right now. If we can expect anything like yesterday, that would be great. The daily looks awesome as well for a possible breakout. And POTR has been just, again, they crushed. Was it their earnings last 2 weeks ago? I believe that's what it was that popped them up this much. And since then, they've just been doing pretty nice here. So yeah. On the list, maybe. What's your thoughts, Peter?
Yeah, PLTR, it's a sleeper. It can move on any given day, and it's tough to figure out which day that's going to be, at least tough for me. So I often keep it on a secondary screen just to see what's going to happen. But no particular indication that today is going to be a mover for it. But, if we get the right news, who knows, right? It could move. You
Yeah.
mentioned Baba earlier. Just to say, there is some news on that they did confirm that they have been chosen as Apple's AI partner in China for their phones. So
Yeah.
don't no details specifically to what that means, but that they will be partnering in China on their phone devices. So presumably that means that some of Alibaba's perhaps AI technology be loaded. I've also seen rumors that Alibaba is going to implement DeepSeek on the Apple phones, but keep in mind, right? They're fighting news and have been all week or for the last 2 weeks about them using DeepSeek versus using their own AI technology. So it's I don't exactly know what the truth is there. It doesn't matter. It's in the news. Partnership with Apple. That part at least is confirmed. So this could be more in play today than it normally would be.
Yeah, and we saw that as well. I think Apple has said it yesterday also. That's why we had a great move yesterday. But again, look at this daily, guys. This is built in. Baba knew about this. You're not going to tell me that someone here out of nowhere said, hey, let's drive this up to 117 from 82. A lot of it's built in already. People got ahead of us. They didn't give us the memo here. But yeah, it could be in play. I think it is in play. 4.3 million shares traded this morning. That is awesome. So we'll be on my list for sure. All right, I see Intel being mentioned. INTC. Yeah, INTC, it's moving here. This stock doesn't give you really big moves. I do like the daily, the way they've been moving lately here. So yeah, it could be something. Maybe a secondary. I have way too many to watch right now if you look at my list. But yeah, I'll add Intel, and I'll find this a little bit later, see if it's actually going to stay on the list, because Intel could be a little funny at times as far as the choppiness, right? So, but right now I do like the numbers we're getting here. I do like the breakout. There's been some positive news as we mentioned before here, and let's see if that breakout continues. But again, it's a funky stock. It's a hit or miss, and many times more it misses than it hits. So that just makes it a little bit more difficult. All right, friends, we'll have to stop here. There's so many. Yeah, Google account Bros is another one that did report, and these guys were up big, 28%. Yes, another one that reported yesterday. The Dutch Bros, and they're up here.
The
They
Bros.
normally don't, yeah, they normally don't trade very well, Peter. So we don't really put them on the list as far as the daily goes. But if you do like it, it's on here, and you could definitely play it today. So.
Yeah, like Dutch Bros. I can't help thinking of travel every time. The only time I ever see Dutch Bros is in an airport, usually in the southern U.S. somewhere. But anyways, yes, it looks like they had earnings after the close yesterday. They reported growth higher than expected and beat their numbers. So, but yeah, not. I mean, you can see just look at the pre-market action. It doesn't trade with great volume.
Yeah, it surely doesn't. All right, guys, let's go over to our community events and announcements over at bearboottraders.com. You can always click on webinars at the top, and you're going to get what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today, we'll focus on Thursday and let you know what's happening.
Right, like we've been telling you, we've changed up a little bit some of our webinars and our schedule. So pay attention if you normally zone out at this part, just so that you're in the right place at the right time. Today, we've got 3 sessions now on Thursdays for your mentorship pleasure, starting with our session at 11 a.m. that Lenny has taken over and going to talk about trend trading and help you with that. Any questions you've got related to trading the trend, he is ready and able to help you. That's for our elite members in the webinar room. Jared then will be teaching options as he has in the past. It's moved to noon though. It's a noon time frame for the options mentorship session. Once again, for elite members in the webinar room. And you guessed it, it's for elite members in the webinar room at 8 p.m. That has not changed. Thor's ever popular Mint Thorship session on Thursday. He will be doing that tonight as he does every Thursday. So that is always popular. If you've been there, people have been going to that thing for months. Love it. It's great information. So yeah, if you haven't, then maybe put it on your calendar. Check it out. Especially if, like me, you're trapped in a snowy wonderland and you got, there's nothing to do because you're not going anywhere, then put it on your calendar for tonight. You can be there in that mentorship session. So those are the three for today: 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 8 p.m., right? Those are the three sessions that you need to keep in mind. So if you want information on the markets any time of the day, on any day, no matter what the weather, go to tradingterminal.com. It's the place to go. It's got all the information. They even have an academy, which has got courses that you can take. Some of it's for free webinars, free information. Some of it, though, is paid. There's a lot of work that's gone into those courses, but it's well worth the money. We also have our scanners in there that we use every morning to get our gappers list, but you can also use them intraday with high of day breaks, turbo breakup. There's all sorts of different scanners pre-configured out of the box, or you can make your own and design a scanner specifically for your trading strategy and what you may be looking for. So check that out, all at tradingterminal.com. And last but not least, two things I need to tell you about. One, if you want to join us in the Bear Bull Trading Room, go to bearbultraders.com. You can find the different membership options. Valentine's Day is coming up, but hey, look, if you're listening to this and you or somebody you love is a trader, consider getting them a membership. We've got a discount right now for Valentine's Day, that elite annual. It's a great deal. Or maybe get it for yourself, and then you can tell your loved one how much money you saved. So check that out at, again, bearbultraders.com. You can join us in the chat room then every hour that we're open. And if you want to, speaking of joining us, don't forget, we've got our live session. We only do this once a year nowadays. We used to do more, but we've put all our efforts into this single major event that is happening in Vancouver at the end of March. It's our trading summit. It's 3 days of trading focused information and learning. You have the opportunity to be in the room with hundreds of other traders. This thing sells out every single year. We're very much looking forward to it. Our entire team is going to be converging on Vancouver to be there for this event, because none of us want to miss it. Most of us are actually actively participating in this. It's always a great session. We've got 2 full days of trading webinars, seminars, interaction, and guidance, and then for first day that is a TEDx, a private TEDx session that we're doing that's going to focus on performance and how you sort of get the most out of yourself. That's very important, as we tell you all the time. Trading is 80% psychological. It's not as much of the technology as people often think when they start. So we're going to help you understand, how to focus on that performance, resilience, right? How to get yourself in the right mind space. Then we'll hit you with all the deep knowledge on trading. So it's going to be a great 3 days. Hopefully you'll consider joining us in Vancouver. Go to Bear Bull Traders for that as well. You can click on the summit. It's a great session. It's going to be a great time. So hopefully we'll see you in Vancouver at the end of March. By the way, some of our members have already coordinated other events. Part of the event is like, we've booked out a nightclub. If you want to do that, then you can go. If you don't, you don't. But there's a great event where we've booked out a nightclub to have a party. We've got a number of members that have already coordinated themselves some skiing trips, both before and after the session. You're in Vancouver, why not head up to the mountains, right? It's just a few hours north. Go make it happen. So yeah, it's a great session. I love how our traders in this community, right? I mean, they like to hang out together and do things. It's going to be a fantastic time. So hopefully you consider joining us again. BearBullTraders.com is the place to go to find more information. And you can join us again March the 29th to the 31st. All right? Okay, let's set some levels. We're running a little behind here this morning, but I wanted to tell you about that TEDx event and the Trading Summit. So, Carlos, why don't you give us some levels, and I'll very quickly then run through what the moderators are trading.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm just going to look at a few of these. Maybe we'll look at two, Hood and CSCO. And I see Thor, you're ready to go, my friend. So welcome. Good morning to you. High of the pre-market on Hood is going to be 65. So we'll slam that there, and then we're going to slam over a low of the pre-market at 61.73. And then we're up here, right? The highs and lows for the last 2 trading days way down there. We're pretty high this morning. Is this all-time highs? I got to go back because I know Hood. It is all-time highs. Another recent IPO. Again, I say recent because I haven't been around for 10 years. 2023 is when they IPO'd. Another one that has been, again, turn on the boosters here and done very well. So that's all you have as far as levels. Everything else is down here with your recent highs. So high of the pre-market, low of the pre-market, and that's all you really need on that one. Cisco, let's look at that one. This is going to be 66.97, and then towards the bottom, as we see some weakness now, 68.37 is your low of your pre-market. And if we look at the daily here, we obviously been higher on this one. This is one of those companies where you can actually go back. We were talking about this yesterday. It's one of the few companies you can go back to 1995. It's not a lot of tickers that you can actually say that on, right? So if you clicking on here, this thing will take you back into time. So actually it is, no, it's not all-time highs. Look at that. Their heyday back in 1998, 2000, they got some charts up here. So they really got some stuff going on there. We'll quickly look at the monthly. It'll probably be a lot easier to get some levels up here. We haven't been up here in I mean, it seems like forever. But there it is. Off the monthly, we'll get some levels right over here. 69.78. We'll slam that there, and we'll slam 76. 70 as well. But right now we're just seeing weakness at the moment as we are dropping down. So levels for those two. Tesla, you've seen plenty of levels on highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Reddit, you also actually Reddit is a good one. That's because that's my favorite one of my favorite ones today. 183.97 is the high of the low of the pre-market. The high is going to be at 209.92, and you do have some levels in the middle here on between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. It's going to be 196.38. Definitely have that there, and then one more here, 190.18. So that is Reddit. Again, pre-market action, guys. Again, I usually don't like this stock, but this looks really good, really good. So looking forward to that. All right, let's see what our team is watching, and then we'll get you over to Thor.
Yeah. Peter's muted.
Peter, you're muted. Peter. Okay, he can't hear us. Peter?
I'm on mute and you can't hear what I'm saying.
Go.
God, I do it every day. You think I'd learn by now. All right. As I was saying, Thor, Mara, Apple, NVIDIA, Sean, his summary's in the alert section. Mike is watching Apple and NVIDIA. Avi is watching the usual. Brendan watching Tesla, Baba, SMCI, and Intel. Jared, we're watching Reddit, Cisco, and AppLovin. He's also watching BBAI, Intel, and the Trade Desk, TTD. Brian is going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, AMD, Oklo, and Baba. Phil, Microsoft, Baba, Tesla, and Cisco. Andrew in the room and from the wilds here out in South America, and he's watching Hood and Tesla. I've got my usual stocks, also watching Hood, D-Dog, and Reddit. Lenny's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla Coin, Intel, and Hood. And I've got a couple of IPOs and SPACs to let you know about. And last but certainly not least, Paris, back in the room the last couple of days, and we're loving it. He's loving it. He said virtually anyways, love you, Tesla, as he traded Tesla profitably yesterday. Of course, he got advantage of that rise. And today he's going to be watching Hood, Reddit, NVIDIA, SMCI, and Tesla. Of course he is. All right, guys, that's our list. We got our live traders ready to go. We're only 90 seconds away from the open. So let's get over to them and get this party. We'll continue this party. And Brian he's maxing and relaxing, ready to go here. Look at that, sporting the Crocs. Oh, it doesn't fit in the window.
Oh.
How do we get the? There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Crocs.
Sorry, I'm
There
on.
it is. Yeah,
Just
I love it.
there.
Yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. All right, guys,
I like
have a good
it.
open.
I was going to do the same thing, Brian, but I didn't think anyone wanted to see my bare feet. So, what you going to do?
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
So PPI data came in a little hot too. So kind of not surprising, but market seems to be taking it a lot better than the CPI data came out yesterday. How are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing amazing, buddy. How about yourself?
Good.
Getting ready for this market to open, man.
Early morning trades, get any off there?
No, nothing really set off lovely for me this morning. We had that the data come out and we wicked around a little bit, but it really didn't get any, the choppy market ensues. I would consider this reaction to be meh at best. So we'll see what we find.
Yeah.
I really like Apple today, and Mara I'm kind of interested in with some of the Bitcoin stuff. So Let me get my screen up.
Yeah, Bitcoin's
Sorry, I'm a
off a
little
bit
late on.
today.
I had heard some rumblings.
All right, here we go. NVIDIA, wow, NVIDIA just rolled over. What the heck? AMD just tanking here. It's going red. Tesla tanking. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. We had some sell-off on some of the semis.
Wow.
NVIDIA came pumping back here. So here we go. Yeah, AMD really took a dump here. Tesla's dropping. Hood. I'm long hood.
Very nice. I'm long a little Mara here. That's $16. I'll get out of it if it
Did
flushes
that
down.
got that pullback at the open that I'm always looking for on these stocks that are gapping up after earnings.
I don't like that sell at all.
I just sold some at
I overshot my
64.50.
level a little bit, but
All right. See what NVIDIA does here. If it kind of, I'm watching it for a breakout from this spike up. So here we go. We're going to test high of day on hood. NVIDIA looks interesting as well.
I was watching AMD. I was going to long that pullback to S3 right there, but I was a little late on getting over into that screen. So I couldn't hit it, but I was going to hit it right here at like 111.75-ish as it broke up here. It's a nice spot.
Just long. I'm long NVIDIA too here. Hood is didn't had trouble breaking out of 64 out in that second run. See what NVIDIA can do here.
We got Andrew long some Tesla.
High. Yeah, that was a nice bounce back on Tesla after that sell-off. Any number of these could have been good candidates for that initial drop.
A lot of selling on this, but they're absorbing it. Come on now.
All right, NVIDIA's trade's working out here. Here we go. Looking for 133 now on NVIDIA.
If I had gotten a better look at this order structure, I would have waited to get into this position. It doesn't have enough orders to the top side yet to buy.
All right. It's just
Come on.
just gonna sell a little here, 133.10.
Are you at is Boss Man at a base camp right now doing his thing, or is he at a hotel?
It must be.
I'm curious.
Hopefully he's staying away from the lightning.
Yo, for real. I was watching his social clip that he put out that was showing him taking some
Yeah.
trades with his Starlink situation. I was like, that's pretty stinking cool. Nvidia just got up to looks like it's up around 133, kind of working on a seller up here. Order book still looks pretty bullish on it, but it's kind of right up near this breakout spot here.
All right, here goes Hood 165.50. Ching ching. Tesla's looking a little weak. I'm I'm hanging on to Nvidia here, looking for another move. Maybe get us up to 134 if we can find some buyers. Q's
Order
popped and
books
now we're kind of pulling back here. It's
end
interesting.
up bringing in a few orders to the downside on this one.
Interesting. Tesla's a bit of a dog's breakfast.
Mm-hmm. I was wrong on the Mara one. I haven't gotten stopped out yet, but I'm gonna. It does not look good. The order book structure actually got really bearish on me afterwards. I went ahead and took a couple contracts short on the NQ, which is the futures for the QQQ. It just looked really, really weak as it lost it kind of came up into a kind of a selling area on the intraday, and I'm looking for it to move down to S3 for a buy. So since there's enough distance between here and there for me to get that trade, I went ahead and took it.
I'm out of Nvidia. I'm not on the rest of that. It's back in my break even.
Come on, let's go.
Close to it.
Yeah, I think that's I went ahead and shorted Nvidia on you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm short SPX right now.
Target hit
The
on
puts
NQ short.
I'm using puts.
I'm also short Nvidia.
Wow. Oh my God. What a move on that. Jeez. In at 12. Now we're trading at 15. Covering here. We're going to bounce off, probably going to bounce off PDC here on the SPY. Ooh,
All right,
that was a
come on,
big
let's
drop
go.
on NVIDIA.
I took a stop out on Mara. But I made a full target on my NQ short right there. So lost
Nice.
200 on Mara, but made 800 on the NQ short. So up 600 now.
Yeah.
So I'm short
Here comes,
Nvidia from 132.80. So if this one fails, I'll probably just, call it.
well, there's
I
your
like this
bounce
one a
on
lot.
SPY. Exactly where I called it.
Mm-hmm.
Right at PDC, baby.
Yeah, baby. All right, we shouldn't go any higher.
See what we do here. We're bouncing back on the markets now a bit. See if this bounce has any kind of legs to it.
Didn't even work. So we're pulling back to offer. So we had a really big sell, right, on the on Nvidia, for instance, for those who are watching Nvidia here. So you can see how we had this just like really big sell. So a lot of the times we see this pullback, and we think that we kind of get trapped buying in here. And the reason why we get trapped in buying is because of how large this sell was. We would consider that to be a relatively inefficient delivery of price, right? So what'll happen is the market maker's algorithm will actually pull this price back up kind of close to that seller again and give them an opportunity to sell again. And this is why you often want to wait for the pullback to get short, right? Because it actually lets you see that pullback, and then you can see if the volume drops as it comes back up, as it did here, right? So what we're looking for one of Peter's lightning bolts, right, is we'd like to see as it advances back up towards high, we'd like to see it drop, and then as we move down, we want to see volume start coming in. So, and that's what we're looking for. But right now, so they're trying to fish a buyer out down off of it's like pre-market high at 132, where we bought premium from pre-market. So they're trying to fish that buyer out. If they can't get a buyer at 132 on Nvidia, we'll probably go tag PDC in quick fashion. So, but you can see how they're working to get this buyer to come back in and buy these levels to break this out. So pretty cool stuff. That sell was real. Dang, Andrew, good trade on Hood. If you toss some screenshots in, I'll be more than happy to share some of your trades.
Yeah, I got it. Out a little,
And maybe a
more
cool selfie of you from wherever you're trading from. Haha.
Yeah, I got a more hood at 66. I don't have a lot of shares left, so yeah, that was a really nice, again, little pullback at the open, pop up, just like played whatever it was yesterday.
Look at that, Nvidia. Good grief.
Now,
Right back to the
hood's
underneath of
selling off
R4.
here.
Dang. We need to find a seller here, or this is going to pop. If you're looking at NVIDIA, it is a fairly narrow range. So if we keep buying here and we start running, this thing could go. I'm still holding my short here. But if I'm wrong on this one, so be it. Had that nice trade earlier, so I'm already doing really nice.
Might be a place to short it here. If
Yeah, that's a
you're
nice
not short
pullback.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of near the high, so maybe we're going to get a double top here.
There's a little
but
bit
maybe
more
not.
buying than I would like to see right now, but I think I'm still good on it. But we'll see what happens. Holding a short while Andrew's nailing Tesla right now. It's like, come on. Don't do it to me. Snooze. Holding. I haven't said hi to YouTube peoples yet. I don't even have that up yet because let me get over to my YouTube people so I can say hi. I'm sorry, YouTube people. I'll be there.
Mm.
There we go. Oh, yeah, Andrew's over there. I didn't really. Andrew's over there doing the whole thing. Yeah, so Tesla's just moving because of
Yeah,
Andrew. This really has nothing to do with the market.
yeah, Tesla's pumping out.
Hey, Zach, good to see you. Damon, Kevin, Zach, Liza. Thor said yesterday that Brian is very old, so the follow-up is, does he have teeth? Brian has grills, actually. You just don't see them. Diamonds, all diamonds.
Yep. All right.
Ooh.
Okay, well, I'm out of the
Yeah,
rest of Hood, so no. Oh, look at that. Nvidia's still trying to push up.
yeah, man,
Okay,
my
taking
timing a
that.
little off. I
Yeah.
really like that trade I took. I'm real happy with it, but it looks like it's not working. So for those of you in BBT, and I don't know if Carlos, if you want to throw my screen up, here's Andrew's Tesla trade. You can see the boss man. You guys just kind of remember what's going on here as well. Like as you're looking at this this trade that this gentleman is doing. You know, this guy's traveling with his travel setup, probably Starlinked in from somewhere or something like that. I saw this guy trading under a tent in like a lightning storm or something like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, look, you know, it might have been a fire, and you know maybe you know, and some of the, what else can we put? Powell, what else we got here? No, lots of. Okay. At least it wasn't 0 degrees, right? Was it? At least it wasn't 0 degrees. So that's always nice. So you can kind of see here as Andrew is getting in here, you can see he you know he gets this break, and as he's breaking here, you know the market tried to sell, and when it tried to sell, you can see the elevated volume that it really got stuffed as it tried to sell, right? So for all of that selling volume, you would have expected this candle to be like a big bearish engulfing, right? But it wasn't, right? It was kind of indecisive. So once we swept the liquidity and came up and broke, Andrew used that as an opportunity to start, you know, he could see it holding VWAP, which is what he really likes. You know what I mean? So he went ahead and got in here. Unfortunately, he was just in a little bit away from VWAP. And you can see this is why he likes buying it so much, because it gives him really nice positioning. So as it comes back here, he does the thing that so many of you, I don't know if you follow YouTube, but you will see out there, even your you know, some of these gurus out here, they just don't risk manage. And then so you see days, weeks, months, years worth of effort annihilated in just a very short ability. And it really just costs you money. So here's Andrew showing you how it's done, right? He went ahead and gets out of Tesla because this just isn't working. He's building a position. It's just not working. But as it holds VWAP and he now finds himself in a better area with better risk management, he starts buying. And now look at the hold, right? Look at, as he's holding, look at the hold. That's how you do it, people. You get your shares in, right? And then once you're in a winning position, you hold. He hits here. And then as it pulls back and supports at 348, he buys more and out more. He's out break even now, by the way. But like, just what a, just showing you how it's done there, people. And then let me show you his, I also grabbed his hood trade as well. Let me pull that up for you. I just called that boss trade, and boss trade number 2. My screen is sharing in the BBT room. Nadim, if you can't see it, maybe you see Brian's screen. You'll notice there's a live trading screen, a Thor screen, and a Brian screen. You can select your favorite. And then here we go. We got our hood on. We boss man. Here we go again. Our VWAP here looks pretty good. Buys, holds value, right? It looks really nice. Breaks up, great profit, more profit, add profit, and then all out. Oh, sorry, profit and then all out right here. Sorry. So, I mean, come on now. All that while traveling, I mean, and doing all of that stuff. I mean, it's brilliant stuff. So great trades out there, boss. Way to, showing us how it's done. Appreciate that. It's so inspirational. You know what I mean? So many of us get into this because we want to be able to do things we want to do and still be able to make some money while we're out about doing it. And Andrew's showing you how it's done. So good stuff.
You're right. Well, we're really getting into some chop pretty early here. Tesla's kind of chopping along. The SPY, the Qs are kind of chopping. So just got to keep looking for some opportunity here. How's everyone else doing out there? Can anybody catch that hood trade with us?
I just got my horse blinders on, trying to not look at my NVIDIA trade right now. I actually still think I'm right, so I'm just not paying attention. But I don't know. I might not be, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's not, the book is kind of cleared out to the downside on NVIDIA. Doesn't mean it won't go there, but it's just hanging around this 133, just under.
I mean, he's trading from like on vacation for you, for goodness gracious.
God, is it just me, or are they running this ad on about this kind of looks like a scale? It just every time I turn on YouTube, it's like this. There's this ad for this sort of scale looking thing. I mean, they must be spending a fortune on ads to get people to buy this thing. Amazon dropped.
I do not like how much buying is going on right now here. Absorb it.
Weird. AMD kind of looks a little bit interesting here. Looks like it might try to do a little breakout here. There's a big order at 113. This is resistance right here. It's a pre-market high. If it busts through there, it could go 113.50.
Man, the market is just all kinds of mixed right now. Like we're like literally, if I look at the order book right now, we look pretty balanced. I mean, equal distribution of orders in both directions. And if you look at the dots, we literally have 6 large green dots to 6 large red dots with no directional movement. So this is definitely a very balanced market right now, which is, one of the things we've been talking about is this market. The hard part for this market for a lot of people is it's probably going to be a bit choppy while things get sorted out. So
Here we go.
What Tesla?
Let's see what AMD pierced through 113. We took out those orders. See if it can keep going now.
Tesla's order book also looks pretty balanced. Although Tesla's selling more than it's buying right now, and it's in a selling range on its intraday. So I'd be hard pressed for a buy on it, but it hasn't gotten away from its open price yet at all today. So this one's quite choppy. I still feel like the market's kind of still waiting. And I don't know, do we have any other? I don't think we have any other major news events today. Do we have anyone like talking? Do we have any like Fed stuff?
Yeah,
I mean, we gotta have.
I saw there was something about President Trump was going to be having at 10 o'clock. There's going to be some news conference about more tariffs.
Oh, all right.
So
Short everything at 10 o'clock. Fair enough.
I don't know. Well,
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
All right.
it
I
just
cut the
seems like
Nvidia
it
one. I don't.
doesn't
I'm gonna
matter.
let this thing go.
Doesn't yeah. You know, it matters to the market until it doesn't. You know,
Mm.
find that it sort of becomes yesterday's news, yesterday's big news anyway. So I think that we'll see what see what he has to say. But yeah, that's I did see that this morning.
I'm glad I got out of that. Nvidia ripping. I think Tesla's got a lot of selling right now, but
Yeah, look at AMD. I hesitated on that one. It's too late now. Maybe somebody else took it, hopefully.
Oh yeah, it would have been a great one. I had it on my watch list.
Yeah.
Buy at S3. It held it beautifully too. Dang, that's a shame. That'd have been a great one. I love the engulfing too. Really nice ignition. Good
Yeah.
push.
Just had a
Sad.
nice
Look good. Really nice. Just
this is a pattern
profile.
I like. This is a pattern I like to see on these stocks, either breaking out or breaking down. You get this nice sort of consolidation period, and then you start getting these. In this case, on a breakout, you start getting higher highs. Every pullback is higher, and then you get to this level here, and we just had a nice push. I'm always a little bit worried about AMD because it does have this tendency to do false breakouts.
Mm. The room was all, the YouTube was all over it. I think I was horse blinded on a couple of things, and we had a couple of people out on the YouTube. I know JJ caught it. I
Nice.
know a couple of other people were saying, "Hey, AMD looks like it's in a great spot." So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
AMD's book map right now looks quite bullish. So there's large orders 114 and 115 with good institutional tiering. The order book does lean out a bit from 115 to 116. Also, ATR high, calculated ATR high, the expectation would be probably 115.58. Right around somewhere in there. Since our session low is at 111.17, that puts our targeted high around 115. Let's call it 58, but 60. So I if you get much higher, like I wouldn't play like a breakout above like 115 on it because you probably won't go much further. But I do think we can get to 115, maybe a little higher than that today. Nvidia's ATR is $6.16 right currently. Gabriel. I went ahead and grabbed some. I'm gonna grab some contracts on the ES long, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm up really.
I
I'm up
just
really
got
good on the month. So I'm just trying to see if I can get some good trades in here today. Oh man, we got stuffed as soon as we went in there, but it looks like the market's trying to buy. So if it's trying to buy, I might as well just
yeah,
go with it.
just go with the flow. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got long some SPX call option here. Let's see where see
good
if it can
stuff. I'll
break
bail it.
out.
One moment. What's the difference between average true range and average daily range? All right, Zach. So the difference between the two is average true range is a session measurement. Daily range is a daily movement measurement. So daily range is like, so a ticker is open from 9:30 to 4. That's the average daily range. An average daily range doesn't really give you a whole lot of information as far as I'm concerned about where the high and low should be. I prefer using ATR, which is our average true range, right? Which gives you our session high to session low. So like in the pre-market, ATR is pre-market high to pre-market low, right? But if you go outside of one or the other, we calculate off of whatever, so if pre-market low is the current low of the session, and then you've broken pre-market high, then we'll be measuring from pre-market low outwards, and that should be able to give you more or less where you should expect your target to hit that day, depending on volume. Like we'll watch AMD, watch AMD when it gets up around. Right now it's buying pretty well up towards 115. Its session high should end up being somewhere around 115.50, a little north of that. Technically 115.61 if you want the exact measurement. The market, Brian, like was kind of a kind of a meh launch.
Yeah. AMD is still showing some strength here.
Yeah, there we go. Come on, buy that premium. This is we're buying the high after 9:30 when we opened. We're trying to buy the high of day basically right now, or the session high. Well, yeah, not technically our session high.
Yeah, that's the only concern I have. We're right at the high. See if we've got enough buyers to push us through there.
Ooh, there we go. There we go. That was
Yeah,
an
there we are.
ignition.
Oh,
That's an
yeah,
ignition right
nice.
there.
Nice. Bingo.
That's some igniting volume right
That
there.
was awesome.
All right, well, now we just want this to hold. If this like tanks, obviously, but that was really nice. That looked like some big money coming in and buying the
Yeah.
SPY. That was pretty. All right, so that could
Very
really help
nice.
propel some of these other tickers. I mean, let's see what happens. This will be a big answer right here. They'll probably they'll probably pull back a little bit, but shouldn't come back too much. If this is the real deal, they should start moving.
This area here is kind of an area where we had some trouble getting through last couple days here.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting if when I look back here, this is kind of an area of prior resistance on numerous occasions. The cues look a little bit better. They're kind of breaking out here. But again, sort of up against a daily level.
Ooh, that was a big rejection. That was a really big sell.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this was an area where we had
Come
multiple.
on. So yeah, we hit a big sell. Now they're dropping the price, and they're going to try and offer to the buy side on the market here. The buyer needs to step up right now and start buying. If the buyer buys, then this turns into a hammer candle, or like a bottle rocket kind of looking candle. Then that's good. If this goes down and cracks the low of that engulfing, then we'll reoffer to the mid level at 60.90. And if that happens, things are going to get real sketchy really fast. Actually, ES is in a lower range, so I was surprised this offer didn't come in lower. But All right, here's we go. Moment of truth. This is yesterday's
Bounce
high for the
back.
Qs. So we're trying to get them to buy yesterday's high. And you're talking, this is yesterday's high. This is like 5 days ago's high. This is like 3 sessions ago's high. And then we sold from like 21. So we sold from just a little bit above this, and we sold off all day from just above here. So we're really trying to buy, we're really trying to convince everybody to buy some premium here.
Tesla's breaking out here, while we're watching the SPY.
That's good. Selling. That was more selling. So a response to that value offering was actually selling. So we had a really nice ignition, good volume. It popped the price, and then we immediately sold back through it. That was not good. So I am out of my ES position, and I actually went ahead and got short in Q as I was holding the ES position.
Wow.
So because I figured
that
I'd
was
just play them
quite the
against each
drop.
other. So now we'll see what happens. If it comes up and stops me again, then it's just too choppy. I'm just going to stay away from it and just call it kind of done. I don't want to start
Yeah, I
another
was
trade.
I was going to say I expect a bounce here just because we got down to the VWAP on the SPY. Here's the
But I
bounce
like
back.
it. They're going to try and fish out that bottom end again. If it gets low, if it gets all the way down to S4, I'd be willing to buy ES again. I just don't like this place as a buy on the ES right now. So I'll just hang out. Maybe I'll get into a position a little later around 11 or
When you
12
get
when we
big
get lower.
spikes
If we get lower. This
we
market's
got
just
that big spike right into that prior area of resistance. So good play. It was a good place to take profits there, especially when you get a spike like that. It's kind of long. I'm long some Tesla here too. Just looks like it wants to go higher. Buyers are coming in. Looking at that 355 level, maybe.
looks like more selling on the market. So this is what when we do reversals, one of the things we're looking for often is basically a failed fair value gap like this. We had this big giant push, lots of volume, and then when we went to buy premium, the market just coughed. And we're obvious. I mean, like in Q, our R3 on the month is like 21,956, and I think our high right now is 21,961, right? So we basically just wicked right back to that same exact spot we sold from 5 days ago. So now we're trying to get the market to buy here, and they're having trouble. If anything, I think we've got more market structure to the downside now than we had before. But still quite indecisive. Like no obvious directional move. Alejandro, when I'm talking about buying premium, so there's a couple of different ways to read candles, right? Some read candles and you just read high, low, right? High and low. This is where it's high. This is where it was low. This is where it opened. This is where it closed. I'm really not really so concerned with those things. When I see the high, like for instance, the high of every single candle, right, is showing you where premium is within that 1 minute. Think about every candle is the top of the candle is premium, the middle of the candle is value, right, and the bottom of that candle is discount, right? This is why you never really want to buy when you're in the top of a candle, because you're buying premium, right? So when I'm saying we're buying premium is the market is high and we're trying to get buyers to buy high. Right. So we're trying to get them to buy premium, which is it's very difficult to do. This is why if you're playing like a high of day break, for instance, right, you actually want to allow the buying volume to engulf and ignite out of the range and then let it pull back to where that premium was being offered and see if it is now bought more as a new discount, right? Prior premium is now discount, right? Prior discount is new premium whenever they're lost. And this is what creates that whole ceiling becoming the floor kind of situation that you see. It's just value offering, right? Did they buy premium? If so, are they willing to buy more? If not, we move lower, right? If you start watching the market in that way, it really kind of changes the way you kind of view candle movement, right? Because sometimes you see the pullback and you get scared as a trader, you jump out, right? Because you're nervous about this trade because it's pulling back, right? But as it's pulling back, you just realize they're just offering the sell side an opportunity to sell at premium, right? And if sellers hit at premium, then you want to sell at premium. And this is where we get our whole buy low, sell high concept, right? So you want to buy at discount, you want to sell at premium. Now, sometimes you buy high expecting to go higher. Sometimes you sell low expecting to go lower, but you should still be allowing it to break and then buying discount for a movement to what should be new premium, right? Boom. Yeah, of course.
Come on,
That's
Tesla.
what we're here for. A little
Come on, Tesla.
edutainment along with some trade calls.
Yeah, come
Look
on,
at that, back
Tesla.
above that stinking level.
355.
Man, they're struggling. They bought like crazy right there and they couldn't move
Yeah.
on the ES, the SPY and the Qs. They bought like crazy right there. They tried to go up and they couldn't get any ground. It was mostly selling. So we've got as we try and push, the market maker is distributing against the buyers as they try and push, which is kind of what's holding this up a little bit. It still seems like we're getting a bit of buying volume in here. We're getting plenty of green dots. But anytime we get around this higher area, we're getting someone's selling, or the market maker is distributing into those market buyers, which keeps stalling the price. So I'm kind of like wondering what they're waiting for.
Taking a little bit off on Tesla here, 352.50. Think still think it's still got some buyers there. There's really let's keep pushing it up. $353 coming next. Patience. There we go. 353. Nice move there. Get sold some more. 355. I'm looking at 355 as an area where we could be getting to here on Tesla. If you know me by now, I'm in options. I'm using options with Tesla.
Because he's a baller. Tesla buying nicely. Looks like your order book is quite strong. So
Yeah,
there are some
it's just
sellers up
it's on a
here,
nice uptrend.
but so far so good. I say that. Getting
Yeah,
stuffed by a
getting a
seller right
little
now.
bit of selling there. Yeah. Yeah, the sellers, the buyers step right back in there. Was there some news on Tesla this morning? It was gapping up like $10 here.
I mean, it got right to a perfect
Well,
spot to buy it on the month. A lot of
yeah,
volumes hit 2 days ago as it made lows into 330. So I don't know if maybe they just picked up an
area.
institutional buyer. Maybe it's just short covering.
Nice trade. Nice trade area. When did you get into that?
Oh, that's a good point. Buzzsaw was making a
Yeah,
good point.
just about.
Elon was pretty all over media, like talking in the Oval Office and stuff on
That's true.
some.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Gary's point. Yeah, it was really overextended for sure to the downside on the daily.
Yeah.
And I saw some news about them building a factory in India.
Hmm. Well, that would do it for me. That would maybe be more than the other part.
Yeah,
Because the
for sure.
factory in India would allow Tesla to handle some of the import issues that are going to happen.
Well, possibly.
Um, because the tariffing and hashtag tariff war, that would
Gareth.
certainly change some of the
Yep.
dynamic because you already have that market over there is already leaned out a little bit. But if you get more Teslas into the Indian market and then still what's there in the Chinese market, I think that works out pretty nicely. I should have just.
I thought India had a challenge with their grid, like they didn't
Yeah,
have enough power,
yeah, he'll
electricity.
fix that.
Some
Hey guys, look who we have here. Good day, Andrew. How you doing, man?
Hey
What?
guys, hello YouTube, hello chat room. How are you doing?
What's
I
up,
am at
boss?
14,000 feet. It's the base camp that we have. Let me show you a little bit. That's our generator. That's our Starlink over there. And
No
here's an
way.
amazing layer. Amazing lake. Here's the salt lake. You cannot go down. It's floating all the time because it's super salty. And yeah, so I'm gonna go up Saturday. And yeah, so wish me luck for Saturday morning, and then I'll be back in Santiago de Chile by Sunday, hopefully. And I watched actually
Nice.
the live trading with Thor and Brian. It was amazing. I personally traded on the Starlink, and it was an amazing session. So I really glad that you guys are trading.
all
I
right.
learned a lot, especially your analysis and AMD trade was amazing.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, the connection is pretty good. That looks
It
good.
really
It
is.
is, yeah.
It
Oh
is
man,
sharp.
I have a Starlink Mini myself, and it was really good. But these guys in the camp, they have the full Starlink. And there's only a couple of people right now connecting. It's amazing speed. Like I had no problem with getting filled and order anything. I just didn't do the screen sharing in the chat room just in case, because I
Yeah,
didn't want
yeah.
to lower the quality. But it's amazing. The only issue with the Starlink is the power. You have to power it, so you need to have a generator. But the Starlink Mini, you can actually have some of these small battery packs that goes for 5 hours. That you can actually, you don't need to have a generator. But these guys have generator at the base camp, anyways. But it's
Nice,
so
nice.
gorgeous here, guys. This
That's
place is
beautiful.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great, man. Well,
All
good
right,
luck.
guys.
Be
Thank you
safe
so
out there.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I want to, invite everybody to come to Vancouver, guys. We have 2-day conference. It will be amazing. And yeah, really looking forward and visit Chile, guys. Chile is an amazing country. That's the unsolicited advertisement for Chile.
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right, take care, guys. Back
Ciao,
to
guys.
Brian and
Goodbye.
Thor
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he
Thanks for
was saying
coming
it's a
on.
saltwater lake. Like
Great.
the salinity is so high, you can just like float in it. Basically, I've seen a couple of those. That's what, man. Like I'm just sitting here, like I don't know if anyone could see me, but I'm just like sitting here, like mouth agape, like just like wow, like that backdrop, and then Andrew trading and making money from there while on Starlink. It's just so crazy and inspirational. Reminder out there for the YouTube peeps. I don't know what YouTube you're going into that's doing cooler stuff than that. But if you're not throwing some likes down for Andrew Starlinking in from a lake in Chile, looking like a
Yeah.
boss about to climb a mountain. I don't know what we can do around here. Like, I mean, I guess if he was like on a Lambo there, like maybe that would have, like if we had him laying across a Lambo
Yeah.
there, maybe that gets us some
Yeah.
likes,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's probably one of the most epic things I think I've ever seen, actually. Like just looking at it and just kind of seeing, like just thinking about the
Mm.
technology that's going on, like historical technology use, thinking about satellite trading from the middle of nowhere on a generator powering your Starlink. I mean, with the tent and then I'm just like, my mind is actually like with the connection, Carlos saying so true, the connection being spectacular. I'm a little mind blown right now. I'm geeking out ever so slightly,
Yeah.
maybe more than slightly.
That was pretty good, man. Starlink needs to send us a check for that promo there. That was
For
what
real.
better advertising than that, right? So yeah, send us that check, Elon. We're
Yeah.
waiting.
Elon, check and a discount, please, because I want to get one. Dang. Man, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even
Anyway,
concentrate
yeah.
right now.
Well,
My ADHD is just triggered right now. How cool is that?
and while we're talking, look at Tesla. Look at Tesla, baby.
Gorgeous.
Hopefully people
Gary
are still in
L.
that trade. You're still in that trade. I'm going to take some off here. I'm just going to front run this 355 target just because this is a pretty strong level right here. I think we're going to get a rejection sometime very soon, or at least a pullback. But yeah,
Man, it's dope.
what a nice run up there. Look at how it followed that 9 EMA right up there.
So pretty.
Yeehaw.
All right, let's see if we find a seller now.
Oh, we got Stefan. He's trading with Starlink set up in Palm Springs. Here you go.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
Like, I mean, it's kind of wild because I know I'm gonna age myself ever so slightly, but you also have to remember, like, I grew up in a trailer in the middle of the woods in the country on like the edge of a hog farm, right? So
Did
I
you?
grew up with like we did not have air conditioning kind of growing up, right? And 3 channels. You had to use the like rabbit ears with the tin foil and like your grandmother's like ring hanging off of it. You know what I mean? Just to like get into the stuff. So just kind of like knowing like that's where I was at one point in my time. I feel like I'm like in Back to the Future right now. Like just like seeing what Andrew was doing there for me. I was just like, oh my gosh, that is just the wildest thing I've ever seen. Dueling banjos, Tom Frazier. Get it right. It's dueling banjo.
So I got this image of you looking like Cletus on The
For
Simpsons
sure.
for some reason.
Yeah. Hey, if you'd have known me
I
then,
grew up.
I worked very hard to suppress my my Southern accent for YouTube. I actually do a little code switching on YouTube and suppress my Southern accent a bit so I don't turn people off too much.
Right.
The
That's
true Southern
funny.
only comes out when I'm stuck in when someone cuts me off in traffic or my kids like make a big mess. That's when the real Southern starts to come out. But
Okay. Well, I'm out of my Tesla calls here. I'm run out of calls.
I'm just out of them, man.
Straight
You
into
got a
those.
bunch, and you got a whole bunch of them, and then you're out of them. Well, it's a hard problem to have.
Yeah. Just when they got into them when this when Tesla just started to break out there. The 352.50 calls. Yeah, we're into an area where I'm kind of expecting to see a bit of a pullback on Tesla. Not saying the trend isn't going to be broken, but a little
We
bit
ain't
of a
found them
pause
yet.
for the cause.
Yeah, I haven't seen a big seller hit on Tesla yet. I mean, we have found a seller.
Yeah.
There's one right here. But I don't know how big if they're big enough to reverse this thing. I haven't seen the volume to support that. But I mean, it's in the right spot, right under R4. ATR high is just a little bit away.
Yeah.
Might be enough to party with.
Yeah.
We can try a little short here, maybe, if it looks fun. I'm still waiting for the ES to get. I like it. Everything's kind of getting into that sell spot. So we'll have to see if something sets up for us. I'm definitely watching.
All right. Well, that was a good run on Tesla. That was awesome. We just a few breakout trades today worked really well.
Yeah, Ed C was
Kind of
saying,
letting.
thank you to Brian. Ed C was saying for the Tesla call out. He's having a great day.
Oh yeah, nice.
Thanks for that call. He says you never disappoint. He said you never disappoint, and
Yeah.
I think
Always,
that's true.
Yeah, always love it. I hear other people are looking at the same trades I'm looking at and making some money.
I mean, it's why he is called the prophet of profit. It's not just because
Yeah,
he was around during biblical times, although he
just
was.
because, yeah,
Again, longer
yeah,
hair, but Hercules style.
could be.
Oh man.
All right. Well, it's been a pretty decent day.
Yeah. Yeah, we made some money. We did good. So far, I only had one day where I struggled. You've been killing it pretty much every day. I had one day a little rough, but you've been
It's been a
Sensei Brian's been bringing the heat.
it's been a pretty good week. And lots of volatility, lots of good setups this week. So yeah, there's your pause on Tesla. We might pull back to the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart here.
Here's where our seller is at. We fished our seller out. We found them. Now the question is, how strong are they? But we're in the selling range, right under R4, right near ATR high. So it's a wide range too. So we're technically not expecting a breakout today because of the range width. So, and a seller, that's a pretty nice spot right there.
Yeah, I took a little bit of a short on it here, but we're right down to the 9 EMA. These levels are magic, eh?
A little prodding from Jose C in the room. I always like a little trolling, my friend. Do I get a bonus for glazing Andrew? Absolutely. They say that flattery gets you everywhere. So obviously I'm a super big brown nose. And I really like my boss a lot, and he's one of the greatest traders I've ever seen. So yeah, I actually should get a bonus with the amount of what do you say, glazing, Andrew? I'm not really sure what that word means. But I assume it's a slight of some sort, which is cool. I like a good slight. But yeah, definitely. what you might want to do though, however, is like maybe like look a little bit more on like the trading stuff. But I do it awkward, you know. I try and do my little salesy thing, and you know, believe it or not, I actually do that because of you. I want this YouTube channel to stay open, and if you guys don't like it, it won't. So I'm trying to remind you, because you apparently don't have enough wherewithal, because there are literally 730 of you watching this right now, but I only have 283 likes. So you could just hit the button, you know, but so I'm just trying to remind you, because I assume you want to hit the button, you know what I mean? But so it's kind of my job here to do that. So, but now I will go away from this little commentary back to the trading. And I appreciate you.
Yeah,
No,
hit
I
the
don't like
button.
to. I like talking to him. It's a good point. I just, you know, it's a good chance for me to affirm my love for this man we call Andrew. And don't forget too, Brian has been around since before the pyramids, and he has magic powers. So
That's
you don't
right.
want to upset him. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not saying
Yeah,
it is
working.
voodoo, but I'm saying he might have invented it.
I might, yeah, and I might wear a tinfoil hat too, so you never know. But yeah,
Love y'all
give us
too.
a like out there. I mean, we've had some nice setups today, given we don't like to encourage people to take trades, but encourage them to look at opportunities, and that's what we're really trying to point out. You've got to decide whether that trade fits with your trade book. But yeah, so giving us some good trades today here, giving some good trade ideas. Say that. UPST is another one that's kind of breaking out here. Is this an all-time high for you, UPST? Killing it.
It's like when you
You're
see one
not
of those
really going to
commercials.
chase that around. We've got buyers. The buyers are in the market today. They're just they're buying these pullbacks.
Yeah, they are.
SPX breaking out again.
Yeah, we found that seller on Tesla, and when it pulled back, they didn't keep selling. Buyers were still happy to get it. They're still trying to push it. So, and
Yeah.
actually for me, it's 10:30. So now that I've got done shilling for likes,
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and dip out of here. Mission accomplished.
Good deal.
So
Mission
um, so
accomplished, buddy.
and thank you,
Thank
Barry. By
you
the way,
for
for the
joining us.
record, none of y'all didn't actually know that that he's actually a plant, and that's actually my other screen handle. I actually logged in and started with a fight with myself because that got us from 250 likes to over 400. So no, I'm just kidding. That wasn't me. But still going after
Right.
it. Anyway, love y'all, people. I hope y'all had a great week trading. Tomorrow, our man Lenny is actually popping in to hang out with the Prophet of Profit to do that, because I'm doing a little vacationing myself starting tomorrow. So I
All
hope
right.
everyone had a great time. I certainly enjoyed hanging out with you, and I enjoyed the repartee. Appreciate the likes for Brian. Prophet of Profit. We made money this week, man. Great hanging out with you.
Good deal. Thor, you
Hey,
have a great week. Have a great holiday, long weekend. Actually, extra long weekend, because
yeah,
just to
Monday we're
remind
closed.
everyone, Monday is a market holiday as well. So Thor is taking a big 4 day off. Are you going anywhere, or what are you doing, buddy?
Actually gonna
He's
go try
gone.
doing. I'm actually gonna try and go do a little skiing. Believe it or not. So it just got warm in here in Florida,
Okay.
so we're gonna go north and go do a little skiing. So it's gonna be pretty fun. But
Okay.
talk to you soon.
Right. Right
Avi,
on,
all yours,
man.
buddy.
Well, enjoy. Enjoy. Thank you for joining me, Thor. Always like trading with Thor. He's got some really great observations about some of the market makers and how they move the market around.
Awesome. Thank you, Thor. How you doing, Brian?
Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, Abby.
Good morning. Good
How has
morning.
your day been so far?
My day is a bit of a Shakespearean tragedy at the moment. Um,
Uh-oh.
I've seen set up every one of them about 3 minutes too late, and so no trades yet.
Oh no.
Just watching it go. Of course, don't chase it. You miss it, don't chase it. So I've seen like 3 or 4 of them today. My goodness. So, anyways, not as
Wow.
sharp as I. How about you?
Yeah. No, I had a good day. I'm thinking I got some trades on Tesla Hood. Hood, we had a nice pullback breakout. That pullback breakout strategy has been working pretty well at the open on these stocks that have um, on these stocks that have earnings night before.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, and SPY is hitting R3 now, and the Q is breaking out here.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fun day.
buyers
Lots of
are
movement.
yeah,
What's going on?
yeah,
Fantastic.
buyers are moving the market.
Mhm. Yes, they are firmly in charge.
We got on natural gas here.
Yeah, YouTube guys,
Today is
Yakas.
Thursday.
Cool.
Hmm.
Rahul, no, I'm not trading anything at the moment. I haven't taken a trade yet today. Oddly enough, I've seen 2 or 3 perfect setups and I just saw them too late. So that's how it is. Hey, Onkar, you're welcome. All good. So fantastic moves. I can show you guys a bit of what I've been looking at. And here's an odd one. I don't trade this, but I saw this and we're talking about it with my mentees this morning as it was happening about 5 minutes before the breakout happened. I drew these lines as a bull flag. You see it's bullish. Well, you have a consolidation at the open, breakout, then made a big bull flag likely to break out to the top side, and that's pretty much what happened. I don't trade that, but it's a pretty neat setup. It happened very nicely there. Then later on, a double top here, as I was looking at it when it made the second top. So the short would have been at the new 1 minute low. Again, I was way too late by the time I saw it, it was 5 minutes too late. So I didn't enter that one either. And here's another lovely tragedy. A big double bottom on Amazon, right in the zone where I like it. My entry would have been long just about there, just above 228. The new 1 minute high with a stop right below, and it hit the target. So, one of those days where if you miss it, you miss it, but don't go chasing it. That's the big problem, big
Hmm.
no-no. So that's it. But lots of movement, lots of trades, lots of opportunities today, even with my style of trading, which is relatively slow. And my mentees definitely got a few. Some of the guys got the AMD move and Amazon and having some fun with it. So a good day
Nice.
to be a trader. Yeah. Oh, and Tesla as well. I
Wow.
was watching here.
Well, I know
Long.
Tesla is, by the looks of it, Tesla is on its way to 360 here now.
Mhm.
I'm not
Uh,
really sure why, other than, it's maybe some bargain hunters after that bit of a reversal yesterday.
Oh yes. Cult stocks, right? They get bought up whenever they drop just out of cult followings. Apple was like that. Still is, I think.
Yeah,
Um, Tesla's got that to it as well.
it's
Nvidia as well, right? Everything, everything's
yeah,
moving.
yeah. Wow. Oh crap! Look at Nvidia go. Jeez.
Yeah.
Q's breaking to a new high here. What's Uber
And
doing?
I'll show you guys a Tesla opportunity that didn't take again. It pushed up, got to the level consolidation, put in this long tail hammer during the consolidation. The new 1 minute high would have been the entry. So on this bullish candle and hit the target. Again, just didn't see it in time. So opportunities, even after it looks like it's made a big move, it's still on the move. It's still in play. So you can get opportunities all day. Okay, something's really happening here. Um, Big pop up on Nvidia and Microsoft, Meta.
Yeah. Well, these the tech stocks are on
Yeah,
fire today.
fantastic. There you go. Logan Sates, sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. I did trade 5 minute patterns and now I've graduated to 1 minute patterns. How about that? I'm growing up a little bit. Evolve the trade book. Trying to get more precision in my trading. So again, just pushing the comfort zones a little bit, trying to get better, one thing at a time, one step at a time. My card thing, that's funny. Lag 7 is back to mag 7. Oh my
Wow,
God.
look at the Qs and the SPY are pushing.
Yeah, pretty wild here. This massive move on Microsoft, that would have been beautiful. Again, I don't have a setup to catch this, but look at that. Big one. Apple as well. Oof, no setup to catch it, but look at the moves. Google as well just did a breakout. Another one there.
Yeah, yeah, lots of stuff breaking out here. It's interesting. Meta's struggling today.
Yeah.
Meta's hasn't been able to go green. Well, it's gone green once. It's trying again here, but really, it's been it really hasn't pulled back much. It's not like Microsoft that's that's really lost it over the course of January and February. So we're getting some oversold bounces. Meta certainly doesn't fall into that oversold category. Maybe we probably more overbought than anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yesterday's
Google,
high.
another one, maybe oversold.
Yeah. Google push all the way up. It seems like there's not much interest in Meta. I mean, it's just choppy all day so far. Wicks on both sides. It's got a lot of teeth, so it's gonna bite you compared to the other stuff. Looks like
Like I say,
everyone's.
I think it's more bargain hunting. I think you're looking at Meta. Meta's had this huge run, and a lot of these the other tech stocks, Microsoft, Google, a lot of them have actually sold off. So,
Mm,
like I
yeah.
said, maybe people pulling some money out of Meta, throwing it back into some of these other ones. I mean, Alphabet's got such an incredible bunch of businesses.
Yeah. It's a
I
lot.
mean, I know people were concerned about their cloud. They had some issues with their cloud revenue, but and AI stuff, but
Mhm. Mm,
YouTube. Wow, look at Nvidia's ripping too.
yeah. That's a good point. Well, people or algorithms, one or the other, thinking that things are cheap or these
Yeah,
companies are too fail, and off you go. Fantastic. Apple now high of day could be a decent break. 239 again. I won't trade it at this level. Oops. I don't have a horizontal line there at 239, but it's getting there. Area of interest. Yeah, Nvidia's there. Man, it's a lot of fun. I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun just watching, not even catching anything. It's just entertaining to watch. Damn shame though. Lots of opportunities. AMD, oddly enough, looking kind of weak. Yeah, the big double top retest of the level, as in breakout level, retest going down. You can also see it another way, a descending wedge, right? AMD's just putting all kinds of weird lines today. Let's try and find this here. So there you go. You got the descending wedge where the highs are getting lower and the bottom is flat. That's a signal for a likely breakout. Sure enough, it did it. Did a retest. Looks like it's continuing its way down. So
what stock are you talking about?
AMD been putting in some
Oh,
interesting
AMD.
patterns. Yeah, there's some good moves on
Yeah,
that also.
it really broke out above R4 there.
Yeah, that breakout just before 10 a.m. or 9:50 or so. That was explosive. Oh, and Microsoft now looks like it's breaking through again, 410 and up. Again, I'm seeing it a bit late. So here's an example of the
Microsoft.
measured move.
Yeah, yeah, Microsoft's just coming up to yesterday's high here. So probably going to maybe get a few more cents out of it and maybe see a pullback.
Hmm. Very cool. Very interesting. Yeah, key level, key area. And here's something on Tesla. Sometimes people ask me, is this a double top on Tesla? I don't see it that way. I see indecision. And what I like to see on a double top is you get a top and then a nice push down and arch, basically, where the sellers truly take control for a little bit. Then it goes back up. So there's a nice gap between the two tops, and the second top is lower, and that completes a double top. So it takes a long time to form. Tesla right here just looks like it's relaxing before it does anything else. So choppy. For now, I don't see an opportunity to enter. Oh, and there goes AMD. Gosh, what a tragedy again. So many trades not taken. Yeah, there you go, Mike. That was Tesla. I don't see much in it. Michael, on these Avinacci lines, man, you know, it's going to confuse everyone if we keep using language. Um, so it's not about percentages. I'm not
Fibonacci.
bothered by it. Yeah, it's it's really not percentages. I mean, if you look at what I got on the chart here on AMD, I don't know where the percentages are. It's nothing, you know. If I'm trading this short, then I'm going from 113.80, this line where I'm looking at the breakout perhaps, or the retest perhaps, I'm taking that entry, and I'm just targeting the next line, which happens to be at about 112.75. I don't care where the percentages are. It's irrelevant. It's not about percentages. I haven't found a way to remove that off the screen yet, so that's uh that's how that is. Seriously, we're confusing everyone here with this language. Mixel Antonio, batter or bowler? Batter. I was a batter for like 35 years, opened the batting, and a lot of fun, but that's a long time ago. Can't play that anymore. Okay, Apple did the breakout we were talking about a few minutes ago, guys. Broke that high of day, about 239. Pushing up towards 239.50 is the level I've got. Are you in anything now, Brian? Tesla perhaps or something?
No, I was thinking about getting back in Tesla when it pulled back to the 9 EMA just a couple minutes ago, but like you were talking about how it's looking a little choppy. I kind of feel like the same way. It's had such a big run. I don't need to throw in sort of a B minus trade, B plus. Well, wouldn't have been a bad trade. I mean, just take it off that moving average. There's still buyers there, but I'm thinking that they're really trying to. I've seen Tesla do this before, where it runs up a lot and then gets to a major level like 360 and doesn't quite push through there. We might have to do a fair amount of consolidation and maybe some pullbacks, go through some pullbacks before it does ultimately go through there. Or maybe it will go through right now. I don't know. But bottom line, it's had a
Yeah.
good, fairly good day, and I just don't want to end on a small red trade, even if it's keep my stop tight. So
Yeah, makes sense. You don't want to risk it if it's not a
yeah,
truly great setup. And yeah, I can see that on Tesla.
yeah,
It's not a great setup.
it's just really run up a lot, and there isn't a lot. I mean, if it does break 360, I mean, it's already up to like $20, so $21 just feels like it's a little overdone, maybe.
Yeah. It would be healthy to pull back and then continue. I mean, healthy price action. Yeah. So what we have a question here from
Yeah.
Idris.
Oh, I think actually, didn't Tesla get some kind of an order from the federal government to build bulletproof Teslas or something? I thought maybe that was a joke, or maybe it was fake news.
It wasn't the Cybertruck advertised as bulletproof in the first place, like 5 years ago when Elon Musk first revealed
Oh,
it or
maybe,
something.
yeah.
It was, and so it makes sense for army and law enforcement and all that stuff. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they got an order. Wow,
Well,
big
yeah.
order.
That rollout where he put the rock through the window, that's it's not very
Yeah,
bulletproof, but
yeah, yeah. I don't want to get shot at anyway. So, yeah.
yeah,
So
that's true.
cool. I'll take some of these
All
questions here
right.
in the
Well,
YouTube.
we've had this big one. Yeah.
Idris is asking about you have great trades every day, but your mind lets you down. You get out too early. Any tips on improving that? Wow, that's a good one. So you're talking about trade management. You keep getting out too early. Whenever people ask me this, I tell them, "Oh, if you're struggling to manage the trade, then don't manage the trade. Just put it on and leave it alone." I do that very often. I put on the range order. So put on the position, put on the stop and the target, and just let it be. Sometimes I'll have 3 or 4 positions running and just leave them for hours and I walk away and do other stuff. And if even one of them goes to the target, it's already a massive green day and let the other 3 stop out. That's how you get the big runners. The big runners take time to run, basically. If it's going to stop out, well, you already planned for that loss anyway, so you have nothing to worry about. As long as you get one to run in that sense, that's how I've been able to find or capture bigger moves. My trading got a lot bigger when I started doing that. So I'll suggest that. If you're struggling to manage the trade, then don't manage the trade. Just leave it alone. It's hard to do because it's hard to walk away, right? You really want to, you're very attached and all that, but it took me a few years to build that out. So give that a go. That might help.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, one way you can do it obviously is to take partials, you know, take some money off the table and then maybe, maybe get a little bit more confident that, you can set your stop back at, break even or just above, and then, you're going to be profitable and then, just try to let it run. I mean, Thor's got this great, you know, saying about trading is uncomfortable, and it really is. I mean, when you get into a trade and you're risking your money, you just don't, you don't feel comfortable, and you have to kind of recognize that feeling that this is it's going to be uncomfortable being in a trade and watching the little gyrations. And I think that's Abby's point is great. You know just set it and forget it if you want to take if you want to do a trade, and try to let it run. Kind of maybe take a partial, then set your range order, and then maybe try to forget about it, and just know the target that you're shooting for in terms of where you want to take profits, and where you want to stop out.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, sometimes it's uncomfortable being in a trade and knowing your money's at risk, and you don't want to. You're always fighting this fear of losing money, and you're always fighting this fear of watching your stock run up, and then all of a sudden turn around and lose all the money that you thought you were going to bank. So it's constantly a fear fight, basically.
Yep.
Whether you're winning in a trade or losing in a trade.
Mhm. Yeah. Get used to being uncomfortable. That's probably the best thing. I mean, just get good
Yeah,
at it. It's all what the best highest performing athletes do. They're always uncomfortable. They're always pushing themselves. They're training for game day. They're training every day, and they're always being uncomfortable. Think of it that way. Same kind of idea. You're always pushing your limits, and as Brian said, your money's at risk, and a lot of unrealized gains. You don't bank them, or you like today, for example, for me, I didn't even take perfect setups 2 or 3 times today. I don't know what's going on, but that's uncomfortable. It's just what it is. That's how you last in this business.
yeah.
You get used to that environment. Shore is one of my mentees. Hey, how you doing? Um, oh wait, Apple. You want to know about Apple? I wouldn't take Apple for reversal, even though it has that hammer at the top. Um, it's close to the setup I like. It's very close, but it's not quite there. It's got the level, it's got room to the left, it's got all that. Put in the hammer, but you can see it's incredibly bullish. It's been incredibly bullish. And for me to think of this as seriously the sellers are taking over now and it's going to be bearish for the day, that's quite a stretch, right? So I wouldn't take it. And in this reverse hammer that I did, firstly, it's a white candle. That's one thing. But that tail is not, it's just not massive. It should be huge. It should be twice the size of the body. And then you can say, like, okay, hold on a sec. There's a massive seller here. This is likely to push down. I'm not seeing that here. What's more likely is a double top, perhaps, maybe, but we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't go reverse Apple up here, just based on that previous hammer that we saw a few minutes ago, reverse hammer. So not my thing. Too much risk on that one. Another question here from Ma3. Can you talk a bit about your strategy? You mentioned before that when it stops out, it stops quickly, but when it runs for hours. You give that overview. Yeah. So I'll give you an example right here on the charts. That's a good one. So Amazon was a tragedy, as in I missed it. The entry would have been right here on the strategy. Big double bottom after the confirmation of the bullish candle here. Then the entry right there to stop below the hammer. And it took, what, an hour or whatever it is to get to the target. And I would have held the whole thing all the way through. But on the other side, if it was going to stop me out, it doesn't have a lot of distance to go to get me, right? The stop's pretty tight. And so it would have stopped out probably 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes in this kind of strategy. And that's it. So it's either stops you out quickly or it runs. And a lot of times I actually have days where I let it run for the target, but by the time the day closes, it still hasn't hit the target or my stop. So it just close it out at the end of the day. 1 minute before the close, I have a setting that just liquidates all positions. So that's there too. So you can open up those possibilities when you're trading that way. Well, you guys type so fast in YouTube. It's crazy. Idris, you're talking about getting in bigger size to get out to get partials. Careful with size. When you're putting on size, you want to be you want to think about risk. How many dollars are you risking? Think more in those terms, that rather than size and I want a partial. You start thinking like that, the market will humble you pretty quickly. Please be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Please be careful.
True.
Yeah. The way I got my trading to get bigger really is not by putting on bigger size. It's by targeting bigger moves. You want to make money on the move, not on the size. I've heard Carlos say this a million times in the pre-market show over the years. You want to make money on the move, not on the size. When I was first getting into it, I was listening to him a lot in 2019, 2020, and kept saying that. So once you get used to that, you realize you don't need a big size. Point is, you don't need a big risk to make a lot of money. That's when your risk versus reward, gets bigger. You think in those terms, then you're more sustainable in this business. Yeah. There you go. We were talking about Apple just a moment ago. You see that? It's just pushing that high again. Now the double top's not even likely, just printed a new high. So forget about that going short. We'll not short that one. What else do we have here? Microsoft is so interesting. I mean, went right to the level, reverse from there, pulling back up there. This is just, it's moving in waves. It's quite nice. It doesn't want to consolidate, just wants to kind of put in waves. It's very interesting. So, oh yeah, look at that, Brian. Tesla is, good thing not going long there, huh? It's just in a choppy zone.
Yeah.
Don't want to go.
See, like it's been spending way too much time trying to get to that 360 level, and like I always like to talk about a little bit about the psychology of people here. I mean, people want to see this thing go to 360. It's a nice, nice round number, and there's some big orders there. But you see this price action where it just stays here forever. You've got to think all these people that are expecting it to go to 360 are starting to say, yeah, maybe it's not going to get to 360. Maybe I better get out now, especially all these people that were in, back at 355 and 350, and now they're thinking of my maybe I should just bail here. So you spend too much time at a price level, it's like, so we could be looking at a bit of a 920 trade on Tesla. We're getting down to the 20 right now, but we've rolled over and we've dropped below the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. So it always tells me that's maybe a break in an uptrend. The markets have kind of pulled back a little bit as well, and now we're kind of dropping sideways for the last you call it 15, 20 minutes or so. So yeah, there's your Tesla sell-off. You know, I wouldn't expect a huge sell-off. I mean, it's probably going to pull back. We'll probably find some buyers here somewhere around 355 maybe, or even earlier. But yeah, like I said, Tesla just it may still go through 360 today. It might just have to pull back, get some of the early buyers out, get them to take profits, and then you got a whole, and then the buyers at this higher level are going to maybe push, maybe have the impetus to push this higher. So, all right, guys. Well, I am going to grab some breakfast and do some other stuff. Let's see, what have we got here on Thursday? We've got Airbnb and Coin after the close. So members in the room will probably be there trading that. I don't think we've got a live on YouTube session for that one, but anyway, thanks for jumping on, Abby. Hopefully you'll find something to trade today. If not, kudos to you for not jumping in on a trade that didn't make sense. We live to trade another day.
Thank you, Brian.
All right.
Absolutely, got to survive.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate the likes. If you want to give us those, and yeah, we'll be seeing everyone in the morning. Take care. Have a good evening there. I'm gonna get my hair cut too. I'm gonna go for an Abby cut.
Do it. Do it.
Okay. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. All right, guys, over on YouTube, on our chat room, we're going to disconnect, and Thor's up next, and we're going to continue here on YouTube with Avi and myself. So thanks in the chat room. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Awesome. So, guys, having fun yet? YouTube? Doing a webinar today. Don't forget, I've been telling you guys, 12:30 today. So after the session, a little 30-minute break, and join the webinar room. We're gonna have some fun with this again. Hey, and it's Valentine's, don't forget. So it's the webinar of love, this one. You don't want to miss this. Seriously. I'm gonna share the love a lot. A lot of love. So be there. The link is, where's the link? You got the link? Yeah, it's just up here in the chat. Anyways, trading terminal, hit the webinar button. You know where it is, guys. If you don't know, ask me. I'll put it up here. So I love doing webinars on special occasions. You get to be get to roll with the theme. The theme is love at the moment. So cool. So the markets, oh man. Fantastic, really. The moves are tremendous. So are the setups. The setups have also been pretty good. I've just not been sharp enough today. So what did we have here? Any questions in the chat that I missed? Let me know. You want the info for the webinar, Steve? Yeah, okay, let's get that link up here. Where is it? Where have I got it? Sorry, I've got about 20 different browsers and stuff open. Just consolidate this. I have to find a better way to do this. There it is. All right, there you go, guys. I've typed in the link here in the YouTube chat. So there it is. Yep, we got it now. A few guys in there. So 12:30, that's when it'll be underway. Until then, I'm here with you. Carlos will be here too, and we'll see what this market wants to do for us. So as Brian was saying earlier, Tesla, tricky on the way down, pull back. For those of you who have the liquidity or the level 2 or the book map, you're probably seeing a big order at 360. Probably seen it there all day. It's probably lower now. But if that has been there, a big order, very likely that it's after a big bullish run needs a healthy pullback. Pullbacks are healthy. Then it'll pick up the, let's just call them the new set of buyers who are buying at higher levels, 353, 355 perhaps somewhere, and then run for 360. And that's a trade I will take if it happens. If Tesla pulls back to one of these levels I've got, even down to 350, this area, and it puts in that continuation kind of pattern that I like to see, then I would take that long. So all possible, all happening. And for now, we have Apple on the run. Oh my gosh. What is this thing doing? It's ridiculous. Let's zoom out a bit. Wow. Look at that. Next target, 241.65. Jeez. Don't you love it? Apple's trading like a low float, just jumping all over the place. Massive moves. Isn't that great? Ma3, yes, my strategy is also there within the Bearable Traders Education Center, the short videos. There's one of them in there. I should make another one because I have like 20 strategies. I'm using only one right now. But there's another one that is, I think, very powerful that I'll put it up soon. It's not too hard to do. Yeah, so you can watch it in there for sure. Danny, what your question is, what if the 8 a.m. candle is so small that it means the movement of the day, the expected move is small? Well, expected moves are something else. Good question. Let me see if I can find you an example today. Today, I don't have that kind of example. But you know what I like to look at is proportions. And let me see, I'll find you something with proportions. Shit. No, you can't. Huh. All right, think of it this way. When you have the levels are so close together, right? Just because that happens to be a small 8 a.m. candle. And then you have candlesticks that start happening at the open. It looks like every 2 candles is just blowing through another level, right? All right. Well, you're looking at the proportions. The candles are proportionately way too big for these levels. Okay. So what I like to do in those situations is you have 2 possibilities. One is don't trade it because it's all confusing. Or the other is skip a level. Now your levels are twice as big. There you go. I do that quite often, but I think that's very subjective. You gotta have some experience before you try attempting stuff like that. So, I mean, get the screen time in so you get an understanding of proportions and what good proportions look like. And then perhaps you can go and give it a go with all this kind of stuff. So, but if it's confusing, you don't have to trade that ticker. I mean, you don't. Nobody's obligating you, and I promise you, the market will still be here tomorrow when you come back. And, you know all that stuff. So there you go. Do it that way. Do it that way for sure. Wow. Okay, we're getting some very fun activity here. Tesla. I was telling you guys earlier, this is the long I missed on Tesla. I didn't take any trades today yet. The long was right there. It was a perfect setup. It never would have even tested the entry. And now it's right back to that area. Let's see if the buyers come in here for the 360 target. Let's see. And for those of you interested in Apple, again, do we have any measured move non-believers, any Avinacci non-believers still in the house? Because I mean, look at this chart. Now you look at Apple. Well, how far do you think it's going to go? Well, right about there, 241.50, right? So believe in these levels. It works. How about Nvidia? Look at that. Freaking awesome. Top there. Yeah, hit that level, push down again, consolidate, breakout. Pretty cool. When it puts in the big candle, went right through a big level. And bounced where? What was the low of the day? Right off the 8 a.m. candle, right there. Pretty cool, huh? These levels. Yeah. Hamza Ismail, these are measured move levels. That's right. And to put it very simply, I measure the 8 a.m. candle, and that's my measurement. I just put levels up and down on the chart at that measurement. Nothing to it. You want to see something really cool? AMD put in a perfect bull flag pattern right at the level, pretty much right on it. And where did it go from? When it did break out, it retested nearly precisely. And there's your move. And then when it did a breakdown, it did this reverse wedge, or yeah, descending wedge. You can double top, whatever you want to call this. Where's the flat bottom? Well, right there. And then it broke out, retest the level, another retest, and you're heading for your target now. I mean, geez. There we go. Sumit's a firm believer. Guys, we got to convert Carlos when he comes back online, okay? We got to do this, all right? Everyone on my side? YouTube, let's do this. Let's do this. What do we have here? Tesla, we get a question on Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's in an interesting place. I put in a huge candle. What the hell? No, I wouldn't take this one. No, no, no. The risk to reward isn't good. I mean, 360 looks like a target, but realistically, I'll go for that next level and then up. If you enter the new 1 minute high, you put your stop down, you're barely like 1.5 to 1. Risk to reward doesn't add up. The setup's not there. Unfortunately, it's in the right area. It could still set up in a few minutes. I don't know. But wait for it. Just wait for it. These things will come. Dalton, these measured moves are attached to the 8 a.m. candle. Do it on a 1 minute chart, 5 minute. Look at that. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing. There's the measure, 8 a.m. candle on Tesla, and then same levels up and down.
Hey man, how's it going?
Hey Carlos, all good, man. All good. I'm
Nice.
really excited today. Just missing trades all over the place. This is just
I
don't know what's
heard.
going on.
I was hearing you and Brian, and I know you missed a couple of really good ones. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All good. And even now, I'm
yeah.
seeing Microsoft putting in a bit of a double top, perhaps, and I've missed it already. It was happened a few minutes ago. Something's wrong with me today. Anyways, we're having fun.
It's all good, all good. Let's talk about only Abenaki series today. Oh man, I am down with Abenaki all day long, man. We could do this.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I have no problems with that. Oh man, I saw a couple of really good comments earlier where people are they're using the 8 a.m. candles and it's working out for them. It's helping out their trading. So that's great to hear, man. Just another tool to throw under your belt there. So awesome stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Very
man.
good, guys. Very good. How you doing today, Carlos? What's your story?
Doing good. Good today, man. Reddit was my winner today, man. And I got into it for the breakout of the 5 minute ORB around 10 o'clock. So that 10 minute candle, if you look, sorry, not 10 minute, a 5 minute candle, around 10. I got in on that for the breakout after the confirmation candle, which I love that setup when it breaks. It looks like it's gonna break through that initial candle. I don't get in on the following one. I want to see what that's going to do. But then once we get confirmation, we're heading higher, which was that 10 o'clock candle. That's when I jumped in. So it's so funny, man. So I jumped in on this, and then I'm enjoying, Thor and Brian talking and going to their trades. And I started looking at other things, and I completely forgot I was in this trade. So not good. I even went out. I got some tea, and I'm coming back. And as I come back, I remember, oh shoot, I'm in this trade. I hopped over. We're above 211, 212. So in the rush to trying to get a partial in, I get completely out, which again I was pretty upset about. I'm happy now because given what happened, I'm very happy. I took everything off up there. But when I did take the partial, I was like, oh, this sucks. This is gonna keep going higher. At least that was my thought at that time. At least try to get to the previous day close, but. Not bad, one and done. I did like the entry, man. I like this move here, and yeah, today was great. Today was a lot of opportunities. I'm surprised you didn't stab anything today, and take it home with you here. But all good, man. There'll be more to come, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, good job on the Reddit stuff, man. It's a cool
Yeah.
story. You kind of forget about it, and you're like, what the hell? But cool, man.
Yeah,
You got
it
into it.
was not cool until I saw that was actually the profit because usually that never works out for me. Like when I forget I'm in a trade or when I hit the wrong hot button, it's never in a positive positive ending to those stories. uh, but
All
yeah,
good, man. You
so
got
it
it. You nailed
worked
it.
out.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
so
Yeah,
much
I'm
stuff to
seeing.
look at today, man. So much stuff. What you looking at?
Yeah, there's a lot of movement, a lot of setups and movements. So great opportunities, and I don't know, man. To me, I'm kind of working in hindsight today. Everything has to happen, and then I see it. It's I'm just
Yeah,
not in tune at the moment.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why, but if you realize that's the case, then don't chase it. It kind of sucks sitting here and watching, lots of fantastic opportunities not taken. I'm sitting here for hours just watching candles go to the target. I'm like, what the hell? But
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
whole point. Don't chase it. If you missed your entry, you missed your entry. Then just come out and have a chat and do stuff better than chasing a trade.
yeah,
Very, very
absolutely.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, anyways, still have a long day to go. We have plenty of hours for opportunities. We also have the webinar, guys. I'll tell you again, 12:30 coming up shortly in about an hour, 15 minutes. I'll be doing that.
yeah. Let's get you
And let's
guys
see
the
if
link
I
for
get a
that.
trade.
Let's get you guys the link
Yeah.
just in case you don't have it. You head over to tradingterminal.com. I'm going to show you that now. Tradingterminal.com, and then once you're there, let me bring it up on the screen so you guys get the visual. Oh, it's not. Oh, there it is. Thought I was getting an error. Okay, so tradingterminal.com, you're going to hop over to this little area where it says webinar new, right? So just click on this if you go to tradingterminal.com, and then you're going to see join for free. And just a reminder, you don't have to be a member. I'm going to copy the link again as well and put it in here for you guys so you guys have it. Makes it even easier if I could copy it correctly. Let's do this, copy, and we'll throw it right on here for you guys. There you go. So there's the link, and yeah, 30 minutes after we're done here, you're going live, and it should be a lot of fun from what I'm hearing. So looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Got a question here about the levels again, guys. Blue chip alert. The level is, if you look at the chart, I'm looking at the 8 a.m. candlestick and just measuring that distance and putting levels at the same distance. That's all, up and down the chart. So
Yep.
I'm serious,
Awesome.
Carlos. I'm gonna do like a 1 hour recorded presentation on how to do these levels, which only takes 5 seconds, really, but
Mm-hmm.
just because everyone's asking every
Yeah,
day. So
yeah.
might as well, it's people like it,
Yes,
so
as
do it.
new people join, they want to know, hey, what this guy's talking about. Here's what we could do though. We could do like a quick 5-minute video on YouTube, and then we just give people the link. So we could do that.
Yeah,
Let's do that, man. You
could
do
do
a
it.
video, we'll post it up, and then we'll give people the link so that they have it and they can see it and examples and all that good stuff. So this way they're up to date on what's taking place. Reddit, I got some questions here on my trade. Let's see the breakout and the retest, and then some. That's from Kyle, our good buddy over on YouTube. And then we also saw another one. Someone asked me to elaborate. Let me see if I find it. Where was it here? I lost it. But they were. Oh, here it is. Do I take partials based on levels? Yes and no. Most times, no. I take it based on what the price action is doing. I'm aware of the levels because I put them for a reason. But I usually take the partials based on the price action, man. If we're moving higher, making a new high, and and we're in the money, I'm gonna take some off the table, right? So I partial very close to the way Andrew does his partialing. It's a little more aggressive. If you look at a lot of my trades, let's show you this one here on Reddit today. They don't look like this, where it's just one entry and one out. That's not my trade. This was a mistake here, and I got all out. Usually I would take a partial here. I would probably take another one here, maybe another one here, and then right up here. That's usually the way I will partial out of trades, and it's based on just, again, for the most part, candles for me, for the trades I end up taking, right? You might end up taking other different trades that don't end up doing this, but for the 5-minute RB, it tends to be something more like this, right? You get up and down, and then for the most part, they really love to come back down to the VWAP. This one did a little bit later. It's doing it now, but for the most part, that's what they like to come back down to. So taking partials for me, the minute I'm seeing some action where we're showing some strength, I'm gonna take some partials, right? But I was aware of the previous day close when I got into this trade, and I thought that could have been a possibility, but we didn't get there. So yeah. So that's usually how I think it's a little bit of. It's not as technical as I would like, but it's more of, I don't want to say it's an art because there is some madness to it, but it's more of a style that I have adapted to, very similar to what Andrew does. Just putting money in your pocket, and the minute you put that money in your pocket, you bring your stop to break even, and you're ready in a winning trade. So that's usually the way I do it.
Nice. Yep. That's a good way to do it. It kind of eases your mind a little bit, right? As well.
Mm-hmm.
You got unrealized, you put some in your pocket, it actually eases you, and you can actually manage the
Yeah.
trade better after that
I
little
I
partial
feel that.
after risk-free. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. And yeah, as you were talking there, Carlos, I took my first trade just now, a moment ago.
Oh,
Got
here
long
we go.
on Tesla. Finally, I feel like I'm in the game.
There we go.
Um,
Nice.
oh, yeah, seeing the setup made sense. Took it on the new 1 minute high. It's just about at my break even now. The exit is below the level. Give it some room, and looking to run this thing. Probably
Mm-hmm.
gonna take a
Mm-hmm.
few hours to get there. So let's see.
Yep.
Anyways, once the
Yep.
trade's on, it's on, and nice thing is range orders and forget about it.
Yep.
So there we go in business.
Man, Tesla up
And
5% today. That is awesome, awesome.
yeah,
So
was pretty cool. I'm beginning to see a double top here on Apple as well. So perhaps a reversal. Where would you enter? New 1 minute low, enter in a minute from now. The exit would be the again. It's kind of hard to reverse this. The risk to reward is keeping me out of it. It's barely going to be 2 to 1. Just going back down to this 239.50 area. The entry would have been right there a moment ago for the setup, but not for my stop. So there we go.
yeah, so many
And what do
great
we
stuff
have? What
today.
else is there? Yeah,
Cisco
some
was nice too, man. Nice short on Cisco today. That would have been a nice 5 minute RB as well. Breakdown there, but below the VWAP, so that's pretty cool. Webinar link, I'll get it to you. Here it is, webinar link. For those that are asking, put it right over here. There it is.
nice. What else we got? Ooh, Meta. Look at Meta drop. That's fun. Yeah, cool.
You mentioned last week during ORB you don't wait for volume. Yeah, so I look, volume is important because I know a lot of traders use it and I see how they use it. I don't use it as much. I just like to see the volume throughout the entire price action, right? But as far as spike in volume for the breakout, I don't use it as much because the way I look at it, I'll give you an example here on Reddit, right? So let's look at this one. Sometimes people like to see like higher volume than the previous candle to get into the tracer indicator. Usually by the time the candle is ending, that's when you're going to get the final volume. And sometimes that could be too late, right? Like we start seeing volume here in this candle, right? Obviously it's a nice big candle, but if you get in by the time you see that volume, you're late to this party, right? So for me, and if anybody sees in my P Capital group, they know this because I talk about this a lot. I show these guys all my trades as far as this 5 minute RB and the breakout. So here what I love is here's your 5 minute RB breakout, right? So that your range, this is your range, right? Obviously it's looking crazy here. You don't want to take it either way. Here I love these breakout candle, right? So this is the breakout candle out of the range. That's not where I jump in because there's way too many fake outs. I want to wait the next candle or the following one. This one is a little bit of a red candle, so there's a lot of selling pressure here, so now I'm not convinced. Once this one starts going higher and breaking some of the previous levels and kind of retesting this 204, that's a level 2 that we had there. In addition to the 5 minute ORB, we had a level on this as well. That's when I like to go in long. And this happens a lot, guys, in so many stocks. You see this all the time. Let's take a look at Cisco on the 1 minute, see how this looks here. It doesn't happen here. Sometimes this will happen where it breaks through the VWAP and it just goes. It gives you no opportunity. There's no pullbacks here. So very difficult to get in. Normally I won't get in on a trade like that one. But let's say I was watching this for a long here. Here's the same thing, right? You're breaking out through some of these levels of VWAP as well. This candle shows a lot of selling pressure. You got the buying pressure here. Here's where I would be getting in long. And the following candle, kind of like the confirmation candle is what we call it in our P Capital team here. And that's the great spot for an entry. Ends up not working out, but this setup here, these 3 bars here look really, really nice. So I look for that a lot. It's a good indication for me to go long. But again, not really looking at volume as much. I want to see the time and sales moving good, and also the level 2 also in my favor, right? Sometimes you're not going to see a clear indication on level 2. But I don't want to see it against me, right? So if I don't see nothing on the level 2, great. But if it's against me heavily, then I want to be just cautious on that trade. So that's the way I'm taking those entries.
Nice. Yeah. And Carlos's trade book is very well refined. He's used it for years consistently.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's remember you talking about it when I was first reading about what is day trading, and you were already trading this stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh man, it's been a while, and this one has been. I mean, and I try other strategies. They just have not been successful like this one, man. And some people hate it. They hate the 5 minute RB. They hate using the 1 minute. Not they hate. Hate is too strong of a word when we're getting close to our love day tomorrow. They just don't like it. It doesn't work for them, and that's perfectly fine. You got to find what you're good at, and just stick to it, and then refine as you go. You know. So
Yep, absolutely. And that's what we'll be
Intel.
talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we'll be talking about today in the webinar. It's a matter of how do you find your strategy? How do you start? And then how do you refine it? And all of those things, the mindset, the FOMO, the independent thinking. I mean, there's a lot in it. So that's all going to happen today. That's the whole
Yeah.
subject matter. Very important stuff. So,
Yep. Guys over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. We got some good numbers today, 416. So that's really, really nice. Thank you for that. We really appreciate the support when you guys smack that thumbs up. So thank you. That's why I was mentioning Intel. Intel here's had a good morning breakout today. So that was nice. If anybody took that, nice trend all the way to 24.88. That was
nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's been in play, right? A couple of days, I think.
They
Yeah, it's
had
been.
yeah, that tariff announcement, right? That's been helping them. It's only this I think that's been helping them. Again, I haven't dug into any recent news, but that's been like their biggest thing. Not tariffs, sorry. It's yes, tariffs, and also limiting AI chips coming from overseas for U.S. companies or U.S. tech or something like that. So don't quote me, but something within those lines where it helps them because they are obviously a U.S. company, so people purchase more from these guys. But these guys failed, man. They failed the AI situation here. They didn't jump on it right away, or just they didn't prepare themselves for it. Unlike Meta. Meta, on the other hand, these guys been on this for years, and it's paying off because it's one of the few companies that actually is making money out of AI right now. I hear the Meta glasses, man. We might have to get those with our leather jackets. It could be cool matching stuff. But I hear their Meta glasses are like the deal. Like they're really, really good, and people that get them, they love them. So I'm gonna have to
Nice.
pick up a pair of those. So we'll see.
Can you put measured moves on those glasses on the inside with candlesticks? You can just for
Hey,
trading stuff.
make you just look at it there like, oh yeah, go long and just talk to it. Yeah, that's the future.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Oh man, that would be over trading. That would trigger a lot of over.
Be But walking around in the subway in New York City, go long, Meta. People look at you like you're crazy. It's
Oh man.
All right, so these glasses are running for $300 on a Best Buy, and they're pretty good-looking glasses. I mean, they're Ray-Bans, so they're pretty nice. That's not
All
bad. Yeah.
300 on Best Buy, so about $50 on Temu. I approximate
Then you're gonna get Zeta, not Meta, Zeta glasses on Temu for
it.
$50. Works just the same. They run on DeepSeek technology.
Oh no.
Oh man. All right,
Hey
let's
guys,
see.
look at that double top on Apple is looking good if you guys took that. I didn't take it because the risk reward wasn't quite there, but hey, the move's happening. So price action at levels makes sense. And talking of Meta, you can see what it did there. It went up, put in that massive reverse hammer, and sure enough, it goes down after that. But this would be a no trade for me. I didn't touch it because it did this massive reverse hammer far away from the levels, kind of in between two levels. So no point touching it. So you can see price action, right? Candlesticks, they kind of tell you a story, but they got to tell you a story, and then you got to also have confidence in it because you're going to risk your money on it. And remember, it's a game of probabilities. You don't know how the story ends until it ends. So that's why stop losses, risk management, all these various things about trade books. So there you go. There's a few good examples out there at the moment.
It ain't over until the fat lady sings. That's for sure.
That is right.
Is that correct to say? I mean, we've been so censorship on all like all the old sayings that we used to say, like, oh, you can't say that anymore. I'm like, wait, what? Really? You can't say that anymore? But yeah, that's
Um,
that's
yeah,
happening.
it is a strange world. A strange world. Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. But kids used to grow up a lot tougher in the 80s and 90s. You get beat up at school, yeah, so what? Toughen up. You get beat up at school nowadays, you come home, it's all kinds of issues. Oh my God,
Oh
bloody
man,
nose. Yeah,
the
get the hell
SWAT
out.
the SWAT team will show up to the school in your house. Is
Yeah.
yeah, it's changed.
Like,
As we're waiting for more action here, I do see like when I go to my countrymen, the kids they are so tough. It's
street,
it's
yeah.
wild. And I'll get back to that in a second. But yeah, I see that Ronald AIFF is on halt right now, so it got halted based on volatility. This is dangerous, man. Just be careful. This stock is moving pretty crazy here. It just popped up on a halt, and the volume there was it's not even that much 650,000 on this 5 minute candle. So just be careful. That's AIFF. So fiery neuroscience. We had this on our list today because the last couple of days they've been tearing it up, but just be careful, man. This is if you don't have a plan, don't stare into the lights here and think this is easy money, right? So yeah, just don't do that. It doesn't work out
Yeah,
too well.
yeah, scary, scary stuff. Woof. So I just took the stop on Tesla. It dropped below the level it was holding, so that's the end of that. It hit the stop. So one down. Let's see what more we can get.
Some news
Definitely not
here
gonna chase this.
off of Bloomberg. These guys are really going at it. I mean, these two. It is, man. If you want drama, these two are going at it. So now Musk was trying to bid a startup under I guess AI, OpenAI. It's, man, they really like if there's two people in corporate tech that hate each other, are those two, Musk and Sam. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out.
Oh man. Entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Hey guys, you want to see something? Again, I'm seeing this in hindsight, so I don't know. But on Amazon, look, it hit the level and then it's been reversing from there. But you can see on a much bigger perspective what it's done. It put in a big head and shoulders pattern. You got the head up there, left shoulder, and the right shoulder is kind of in this area. And you can see the right shoulder always takes time to form. It always takes longer. But that's a very good one. Head and shoulders, and there you go. Go from there. So if you like head and shoulders, I mean, there it is. And it's happening right at a level. It hasn't been to this level in a while, and really neat setups.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
John over on a YouTube. So on my video on the website, it says to find a 5 minute RB lower than the ATR. That video has to get updated. I took the ATR off a long time ago. So I'm sure in that video my beard is probably very small because that is an old video. So what I did was I used to do that. I used to look at stocks that the ATR, the 14-day ATR was smaller than the actual 5 minute candle. I took that out because if you look at stocks like with News, Reddit, Cisco, if you look at it's a D-Dog, I think was down pretty big today. These stocks are going to blow through their ATR, and the market has changed so much. Like if you look at these opening moves, we're getting so much volatility. I mean, Avi, you've been trading for a while. If you compare it back to like 3-4 years ago, before the pandemic, obviously, these stocks they're moving much faster and more aggressive. So if you wait for that ATR, you're gonna probably miss the move. So yeah, so I took that out of my trade book. If you look at my recent trade book, that is out of it. Some people still use it, and it will limit you to a certain amount of stocks that give you less risk, which is fine. So there, could still use it. But for my style of trading, I changed that. So I took it off now. I don't look at the ATR, and I don't look at the volume as much. So yeah, so that's some of the changes I've done there.
Nice. Yeah, you got to stay updated and keep evolving, right, as a trader. So there you go. Update. I'm getting curious here about Nvidia, but very hard to talk to this chart right now. Bounced off. Looks like it wants to go back up to the high, but let's see. Not in this position, but I was tempted for a moment. Cool. What else do we have here?
Let's see, just checking some comments over on YouTube. Um, What size are you taking? Yeah, size is really irrelevant. But I'll tell you the way I do. I do 250 shares or 500 depending on the price. And then there's some stocks like Ford that barely move. You could take 1,000 shares and you're still not gonna make a lot of money or risk a lot of money. That's more important because the stock barely moves, right? You know what stocks barely moves to that you could take a larger size? Intel. I know Intel's in play now, but this stock, like, for you to get 50 cents out of this, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And you got those stocks that are like that. So that's why people ask, how much size you take. It depends on the price, depends on the volatility, and also depends on my knowledge of that stock. Like on Tesla, you're not taking 500 shares. Right, you shouldn't. You're risking probably way too much, unless you're Avi. If you're Avi, you got $1 million account. Yeah, you could take Tesla with 500 or Andrew. They take these massive size, right? But it's a lot that goes involved into what size you take. I'll tell you what's more important. How much do you want to risk on this trade? That's what it is. What do you want to risk on this trade? That's more important. And that's gotta, when it comes to that, you gotta look at a couple of things. I like to call it EAT. EATs, like eating, EAT. You gotta look at your experience. You got to look at your account size, and then you have to look at, I'm sorry, not year, your risk management, your risk tolerance. So these three things, they all play into what size you're going to take, you as a trader. Don't worry about somebody else is taking, because I used to do that. I used to want to know, man, what size is Andrew taking? What size is, Brian taking? So I want to max their P&L. I want to make that type of money too. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So just focus. Again, it's like my analogy of the guy in the gym. You don't go the first day to the gym and start looking over at the guy that's, picking up a 50-pound of curls. You're not there yet. Look at yourself in the mirror, make sure your technique is properly right, and then just put in the time. That's what it really comes down to. And don't listen to a lot of the noise out there. Like one of the I don't know if you've heard this too, but one of the most misguiding information that's out there is, you should risk 1% of your account. All right, so I started with $40,000. I'm gonna, with no experience, I'm going live. I'm gonna risk $400 per trade. No, this doesn't sound right. It's just, but there's a lot of articles out there that say that, and I'm like, maybe for an experienced trader, but not for nobody starting out new. You're not gonna be risking $400 per trade. How about 40 per trade? Let's start there, and then you work your way up, right? So be mindful of that.
Absolutely, yeah. You gotta be careful about how many dollars you put at risk, because there's multiple things. Amongst it, I think this counts whether you're experienced or just starting out. Either way, is can you emotionally handle it? As in, once you put on the risk, can you hold yourself together as it goes in your favor 5 hour and you haven't taken a partial, or you stop out and does it devastate you that you lost that? If it does, then it's too much risk. Or also, if it freaks you out when it goes in your favor, it's too much risk.
Yeah.
So you got to find the amount of risk that you can emotionally handle, whether it's a winning or a losing position. At the same time, obviously, you can't go risking half your account on a single trade. That's stupid too. Just blow it up.
Yeah.
So
Done that.
There you go. I have too.
Done that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's man, feels great when you win. Those are big winners, man. But when it goes south, and you'll know too, like. Let's say you have your stop set up and you're not even at close to your stop and you're already sweating because you're looking at the negative P&L. You took too big of a size, right? You should be uncomfortable in a trade, which is kind of what Brian and Thor were talking about today, but you shouldn't be freaking out. It's two different things, a very fine line. Uncomfortable is okay. Freaking out, it's not good.
Exactly. And you learn that lesson. That's why there's a simulator. That's why there's the funded account. You start with all that. And then when you do go really live trading, put your money on the line, well, start small, because once you understand trading and at least you got a strategy you think will work because it's worked in the funded account or in the simulator, whatever it may be, then you start putting real money, your own money, emotions suddenly come into the picture. And this is something new. Now you got to learn how to handle that side of it on top of the technical trading. Now you're in a, in a whole new world. So you start with small cash to risk first, in the first day trade. And slowly, with consistency, with proven results, you build it out. That's the only way I know how to do it. Otherwise, you're just, you're putting yourself at risk of blowing up. And I don't know why you would want to do such a thing. So.
Yeah. You never seen a halt before. Yeah, so AIFF halt. So basically this volatility halt. If you look at this candle, the last 5 minute candle, actually let's look at the 1 minute because that's probably better. That 1 minute candle went from, with very low volume, from 14, it looks like 1491, all the way to 1638. That is a big move. So there's a percentage that if the tick, is it 10%? I forget the percentage, but if a stock moves a certain percentage, the exchange is going to halt the stock, right? It's going to prevent it from trading for like about 5 minutes. Is the first halt, and then they can increase the time. It could be 10 minutes on the second or so forth, depending how crazy it gets. But the idea is to protect people from like either tanking the stock or just getting killed on the way up, right? So it gives people an opportunity to get out of the trade. Not when it's halted, but when it comes back. So it's good when you're in the right side of things. It's really bad when you get caught on the wrong side, because usually those moves are like this one, very aggressive. So you'll see stocks like that get halted, just kind of calm things down a little bit.
Yeah. With halts, man. I used to trade low floats, and man, you get stuck in a halt on the way up. The first halt, cool. Second halt, yeah, maybe. But after that second halt, you get out of there, because the third halt, man, now you're dealing with seriously a possible crash.
Yeah.
And trading that was insanity. I don't know how I pulled it off for a little while. It was just scary.
Yeah,
Clearly,
scary,
I don't do
man.
that anymore.
Scary stuff. It's funny. I was going back and looking at like just the overall SPY and the way it's been moving, and it's funny because I was so just oblivious to like 2008 when we had the big crash, the big housing crash. I had no idea whatsoever. Like I was clueless at that time of what the markets or anything like that. And I remember, this is people were freaking out. I look back and look at documentaries now. People are really freaking out. I bought my first car in 2008, so I was enjoying life. Like I was so in a bubble. Like I didn't know people were losing their jobs. I had no idea. I was going to my job. Bought my first car. That's actually a nice BMW 2-door. So it was really neat. And I'm just enjoying life and not knowing what's going on. Sometimes not knowing is pretty cool, man. You just don't care. It's just like, just doing whatever you're doing. But I always laugh at that story because the guy, he, I went to see the deal. I'm like, no, I don't want that price. It's too much. Call me when you have it. At this price. And he calls me back 2 months later. He probably knew everything was going to crash and said, let's get this guy on the hook. And before things go to crap here. But so clueless, man, on the way that things worked out there. But this SPY, we're bullish. We're bullish. About to hit all-time highs any minute now, any day. It's awesome, man. Great for us day traders, that's for sure. As you see here.
Fast. The moves today are just brilliant. Gotta love it.
Yeah, they really are. And I think we're waiting on Trump talking today. I saw somebody comment on that. I'm not sure if that's official or not, but that can also move the stocks more if we need more volatility.
Trump. More volatility. I mean, we already have Tesla trading like a low float today.
Yeah, I know.
Just like
It's
moving.
wild.
Insane. Oh
It
man.
is wild.
Nice. Yeah. Lots of love. The market's giving us all a lot of love. Gotta love that.
Sure
Always.
is.
Valentine's and all this.
What is this? What amount do you guys suggest to start with the live trading account? I don't know, man. It's a tough question. It's different for everybody. But I think you got to start with a good amount. Like if you turn total capital on your account, it can be $2,000, right? You're gonna blow that. You're gonna blow right through that. So I think you need to have at least 5, and then you're gonna have some limitations on how much you could trade. But you need a good buffer, to make mistakes and not feel the pressure that I have to go up, right? You got to give yourself a little room to go up and down. So that's important.
Yeah. And you have the PDT rule for Americans at least, so there's a minimum there. So, but yeah, you got to give yourself some room to lose in the beginning because you're going live for the first time. You are entering a whole new learning curve, and you have to survive that without blowing up or not having the ability to trade ever again, right? Small risk per trade and then build it up. Build it up nice and easy, nice and slow. And it's worth it, guys. It's totally worth it. It's worth the learning curve. So
Cisco is bottoming out. It looks like here. Cisco's trying to put in a reversal maybe. How does it look on the measure moves there?
These are not measured moves, Carlos. These are Fibonacci lines.
I forgot. Fibonacci lines. How's it looking on the Fibonacci lines?
Thank you very much. Let's have a look now.
Yes, now let's have a look. Hey, Das is gonna email us saying, "What are you guys doing? What the heck is wrong with you guys? We're gonna revoke your access to Das."
Oh my goodness, we're causing trouble. But I think really what's happening is Mr. Fibonacci's rolling over in his grave right now.
Oh yeah,
Just because. So Cisco for reversal looks actually pretty damn good. I see a big double bottom that happened a little while ago, right in the zone, and pushed a little pullback and bounced precisely off one of the lines right there.
yeah,
It's
that's
on its way.
great.
So amazing these lines, huh? There you go.
Well, we
Some
might have missed
patterns.
the great entry off that bounce, right? Off that line on the retest. We might have missed the entry should have been closest to
Yeah.
that. Like, where would you enter this if you were reversing? Where would have been the entry?
See, for me, I look at a double bottom. So the second bottom happened here at just about 11 o'clock. And then what I'm looking for is first a very bullish candle. So you can see this, the 11:03 candle. Then the new 1 minute high would be the entry, which would have happened just
Mm.
a minute after, 2 minutes after. 11:05 would be the entry. My stop would be low below the previous low, and you're just looking to go up. Once this thing moves in your favor, and especially after the retest, I would be able to tighten up the stop, at least bring it below the retest. And that point, you're close to break even with your stop, or at least you've minimized your risk, and then you're in this thing. So
Yeah,
that's how I
yeah.
would manage this and just keep going. I wouldn't have partials and all, but you can do that. Partial at when you see previous resistance that got there, you might want to take a partial. No, that's doable too. Different trade management strategies. So there you go. Fun, fun. Cisco, Cisco Avinacci lines. I love it. Just yeah, right. We have so guys, Apple, we were talking about the double top earlier. You would have caught it. It would have had a good move, hit a round number. You could take some there. You can see where it bounced off 240. So this is how I would manage this trade. If I took the double top, I'm targeting the next level down. But if I'm observing it and it happens to find a big buyer someplace, and you can see it happened to be at 240, you probably would have seen that on the order book, a big buyer sitting there. And then now you're unsure about it, so you might want to stick your stop at break even. At least you're a little risk free. But the next time it does come down to 240, you might want to take off a big chunk of that. You can manage the trades this way, as in this is actively managing it. It's not something I typically do, but there's ways to do that. If there's something coming up in between you and your target, it's time to de-risk it a little bit. So on this, that would make sense on Apple. I did this yesterday with a Tesla trade I got into. So yeah, there's ways to manage. First thing you got to do is manage risk. Then you think about the reward side. That comes later in your trading journey. But
Yeah.
risk, 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 risk. It's all risk. Risk management, minimize the risk, don't risk too much. And your volatility as a person, that's risk as well. You got to manage that. That's the harder part. Because you, the trader, are always more volatile than any low float garbage out there, any volatile ticker. That's the truth about it. So,
Yeah.
you got to be stable, emotionally stable, and then you can manage losses, wins, and all that stuff. Then you're in the game.
And the drawdown, man. Manage the drawdown on your equity. That's something that I did poorly on when I first started. My drawdowns were way too heavy. 15%, 20% of my entire account. It's just too much. To come back from that, you need a lot of winning trades. So, and that was a big problem for me. Like the first year, it was such a big problem. My optimism of like, oh, it's gonna come back, really destroyed me, man. It was so bad. So, but that's part of my personality. So to break away from that is not easy. Like I had to like really try as hard as I could to not be as optimistic when it comes to trading. Right? It worked in my career. For 12 years, I did pretty well, really good actually. I moved up a lot, but it doesn't work in trading. You can't bring that to trading. It's not gonna help you. It's gonna do you such a disservice. It's unbelievable. So be aware what you're good at in your personality and make sure that it's not conflicting with your trading here. So a couple of people on YouTube
Absolutely.
confirm tariffs is at 1 p.m. today Eastern time. So reciprocal tariffs at 1 p.m. So we'll see how the market reacts to that. I don't know if I only know if India's the company they're talking about the most, that they're the ones that have tariffs against the U.S. I don't know of any other country that has tariffs. China might be doing some stuff, but we're doing it to them as well. So I don't know, but we'll see how big a reaction is going to be compared to the other stuff we saw with Mexico and Canada. That obviously had a nice reaction. We don't want them messing with our Colombian coffee, man. We need our coffee. This coffee's good. So
Yeah. Don't mess with Colombia, man.
yeah, don't
I'll
mess
be
with the
upset.
coffee, man.
Oh dear.
Or the avocados. Don't mess with the chipotle avocados from Mexico.
Oh shit. Yeah. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Hey guys, I'm seeing another setup that again I'm 5 minutes late too, but here it is. Big double bottom on AMD. You can see from the top to the bottom, had a big move down and bouncing. Big double bottom. Second one's higher than the first. Bullish candle, new 1 minute high is the entry. You can see it that way, or the other way to see it is it broke out from the consolidation, and all it's done is retest the breakout area. And you can take a breakout. Either way, you end up taking the same trade. You're going up for the next levels. So there you go. AMD giving us opportunities. Again, it's probably the third, maybe the fourth one I'm seeing today. Again, in hindsight, that's just that's just what's happening today. So there you go. It's working.
SPY little push higher, nothing big. Someone mentioned Hood in chat. Yeah, Hood is losing it. They've been on a decent downtrend all day. Really had a big drop. Try to come back above VWAP, and then since then, that's a 1022. It's been down, heading towards the low of the day. So they're losing a lot of ground here. They're still up 10%. Still a strong stock. I mean, they had a huge move after earnings last night, but they're giving some of that back. Again, some profit taken, and just overall, maybe we don't belong up here. Because, we always talk about overreaction on the way down. Like, oh, maybe the stock overreacted, like Cisco. Not Cisco. What's the other one that dropped down? Was it Trade Desk, I believe it was. We talk about the overreaction on the way down, but we can also overreact on the way up. So maybe there's some kind of correction happening here if we continue to lose this low of the day. So see how that goes.
Yeah, wow. Would have felt nice and bullish up front, huh? Early in the day on Hood, and then it's all gone. Raman, you're in AMD. Awesome. Raman's one of my mentees. Good work. You got the setup. You know what you're doing. Nice. Ooh, what's going on? AMD's going down along with Nvidia at the moment. That's interesting. A lot of things just pushed down a moment ago. Very cool. Let's see. Let's look at AMD again. There it is. Yeah. Pushing upwards. Tesla. I took that one opportunity on Tesla and that one didn't work. Stopped. So that's it for now. Still waiting and watching. Tesla. You know what I'd like to see? Look at this guys again. Oops. Where is it? There it is. You can see the price action on Tesla is very interesting. It made that top early in the day, and that was a pretty serious top. It rejected from there. Then it broke out, right? It went there. And all it's really done now is come and retest it. It's about, what, 350.6 or whatever it may be, right there. So it made a big move, retest the opening area, the top of the opening range, you could call it. And this is what sets up for the second move, a big one, ideally. So these are ways to look at things. Because I'm not going to trade it here. For me, it's not in an area I'd like to get involved. I get involved at these levels. For me, it's right in between levels. You can just see how price action works, Pretty cool. You can even work with intraday levels. You can draw these ranges intraday and then see how it behaves later in the day when it comes back to those levels. Nothing wrong with trading like that. So many ways to do it. Dave Hobbing, yes, I measure the wicks of the candle at 8 a.m. Right there, you can see it. Not the body. The body's just non-existent a lot of times. The whole thing, the wicks. There you
go. I know we don't talk much about swing trading here, but man, I keep looking at these quantum stocks and all the talks about it. I wonder if I should be getting into like some kind of position in here for later down the line. Like I look at QBTS, right? It's $6. Should we throw a couple of shares on this thing and then see where it goes in a few years? Or RGTI. This could be the next best thing, man. We could be missing the move right here. We could come back at the end of the year. These stocks could be like at $100. I don't know. So
yeah,
I've been dabbling with that. Should I throw some stuff in here?
That's awesome.
So
Well, you know what? It's an asymmetric kind of play, right? You get 3 to 1 or 5 to 1. If it goes to
yeah,
zero, what do you lose? You can put that amount on, and either it goes in your favor, 1 out of 4 of them go. That's good, man. It goes 5 to 1. No.
yeah.
So I
That's
would
what
look
I'm.
at it.
That's it's funny you mentioned that. That's exactly the way I think about it. Like a move like this, like you don't know where this technology is gonna go. Whatever you throw in there, you gotta think of if it goes to zero, it's not gonna ruin my life, you know. And that's kind of like the way I invest in swing trading because I'm not gonna go into looking at all what this company's doing, all the financials and all the technical stuff that people do, right? So yeah, it's kind of playing the news a little bit of a gamble, so you want to be careful. But if it works out, man, it could be some big dollars here.
Yeah. Well, I know. Give it a go. You never know.
Yeah, right. Should,
Yeah.
I- I'll wait for my leather jacket so I could feel better and go buy me some shares.
Good with a leather jacket. Yeah. Oh boy, Amazon. Okay, so I was telling you guys earlier, the biggest tragedy, the biggest Shakespearean tragedy of the day is I missed the whole double bottom on Amazon. Would have got basically low of day to high of day, would have had the trade, but didn't take it. Totally missed it. Now it's right back to where I would have gotten. So let's see. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Just gotta wait and see if it sets up. There's an opportunity, either long or short. Point is, it's in an area where I would enter if it sets up at this area. For now, it's still very, very bearish. So let's see. What do we have? Apple, nah, going nowhere. Microsoft made just enormous moves from this level to the top, and then looks like it's coming right back to where it started from. Big reversal. I like reversals. So that's where you get those big trades, 10R and beyond.
What else we saying? Holding
What else we got?
OKLO since 18. Okay. Oh man, since 18, that's pretty good. OKLO. So one of our members has been on this one for a while. Yep. Yeah, swing trading is fun. I like swing trading. It really goes with my style of like, kind of set it and forget it. You can't really do that with day trading, not with the 5-minute RB. You can't really do that. But if I could do everything as a swing trade, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. So I'm doing a lot more swing trades than what I used to before because I think as I get older, that's what I want to do, man. Just kind of do swing trades. But day trading pays the bills. You just can't cut that off. It pays the bills. Swing trading, you have to wait too long to get that check. So
Yeah.
for that to become full time, you have to have so much precision and a very large account and hold through a lot of pain. So we're not there yet. We're
Yeah.
not there
You
yet.
got something good going, keep it going, man,
That's it, man. That's it. But eventually, I want to. We're not gonna do this forever, or maybe we are. I don't know. Who knows? But I see myself when I retire, it's just probably be swing tradings and not the fast paced stuff. If there ever is retired from day trade, I don't think there is. I see Brian; he's still going. He's going. He's going the long run there. So maybe
It's amazing.
there's no retiring.
Love it, love it. Question here from Ma3. Is there anything out there that tells you what trading strategy you should pursue based on personality type? Yeah, in 30 minutes, you're going to find out exactly the answer to that question in the webinar. That's what we're talking about today. So that's today's one. If you want that answer, coming up shortly.
Yeah.
So be there. Get the link. And yeah,
Yep.
we
Let me
got
send
BZ
that link.
Capital. BZ Capital, do you draw lines based on fibs or on higher time frame, swing low? No. Yes, it has been asked a million times. No, I just draw it based on the 8 a.m. candle, the high and low of the 8 a.m. candle. That's all. You just measure that, and it's a measured move. That's all I'm using over here. Nothing else
Yep.
to it, really.
Just send over the link, guys, for those for that webinar in 31 minutes or less. So, yep, hop on over there. And just a reminder, because I know people have asked before, you do not need to be a member of BBT, and it's completely free. So, don't gotta do any of that. Just head on over there, and you'll be good to go. It's so simple too. Like if I show you here, right. Once you click, I'm gonna close this. Once you click on join webinar, you just come in here, put your email address in the nickname that you want or your name, Match the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, match your YouTube name because we keep, we learn some of these names. So it's fun to see people that we see on YouTube and other places. So match your account name if you can. That'd be cool. And just log in. When you're all set, good to go. So we'll see you guys there.
Yeah, come have some fun. Don't forget, it's the webinar of love. This one.
Yep.
Keep saying that just because. All right, that's about noon there, guys.
All
So,
right, we'll wrap it up here.
Been a-
Question: How old we are? I'm 40, man. Just turned 40 last year, so hopefully we still got 40 left. Should be a lot of fun.
that's the fun. I love it. Yeah, I'll be 40 in a couple of months. So yeah,
There you go. Friends over on YouTube, thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the webinar with Avi. Have an amazing trading day. Take this couple of minutes here, and then we'll see you in the webinar. Should be a lot of fun. Don't miss it. Avi has a pretty nice webinar and a gift, a Valentine's gift for you guys also on the webinar. So take care. Avi, always a pleasure, man. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carlos. Thanks to everyone. I will see you all in 30 minutes. Take it easy.
Awesome. Boogie Woogie. Good to see you, man. Long time viewer of ours.